This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drug kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Good morning once again and welcome inside Wachs Arena on the campus of Northern State University. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Good work. New tech guy just fixed the monitor, so we're good to go that way. Thanks for having us on day 2 here. And we were talking with some folks. Steve Erickson joins me at the table again, talking with some folks about getting into this game. And you know, it was hard when it was a noon game. Now they moved up the times. Now you got to get ready at 11 o'clock again. And a team like Viborg Hurley that's playing in this one, Steve, maybe expected a little more, has to play at 11 2 days in a row.
Well, I think that goes for everybody coming in, right? You don't want to be in the sunshine bracket, so to speak. And if you had your sights set on maybe going a little bit further or winning that first game, and so it'll be interesting to see how teams bounce back after expecting to maybe win those first round games, and then how do you come out and what message do you send in today's games?
And there you see the brackets for today. Viborg Hurley, Aberdeen Christian, 2 of the top 4 seeds in the tournament coming in, opening up our consolation semifinals. And then Sully Buttes, the 7th seed, takes on another one of those top 4 teams in De Smet at 12:45 here today in our consolation semifinals. A big night tonight here for championship semifinal action. We'll have Lyman and Castlewood at 5 o'clock tonight, and then Freeman and Wall at 6:45. Just up and down the board, talking with so many folks as they get ready for today's games. So excited about how good the games were yesterday and anticipating that similar type of atmosphere and game action today.
Yeah, and we had mentioned that yesterday too, that the 1 through 8, these teams are pretty evenly matched, and I think you could go replay yesterday's games and the outcomes might be completely flipped. So yeah, again, another 4 games that we're hoping are gonna provide some excitement for everybody again this afternoon.
Let's take a look at our teams that are participating in our opening game here today. The Aberdeen Christian Knights, they'll come into this matchup 20-4 on the season. Take on Viborg Hurley, who's also 20-4 here today. The school profile out of Aberdeen and Brown County. Aberdeen Christian, coached by Matt Rohrbach. 64 students in grades 9 through 11. Maroon, silver, and white, the school colors. On Wisconsin is the school song. How they get to this point of the tournament. They beat Waverly South Shore and Warner in postseason play, and then knocked off Sioux Falls Lutheran 67-52, and then fell yesterday to Castlewood in a dandy of a game, 53-50, where they led throughout a lot of that game. Castlewood battled back, took the lead. Aberdeen Christian battled back, and then it was Castlewood who prevailed in the end, 53-50, take on Viborg Hurley here today. Their starting lineup looks like this: 6'2" senior Jet Johnson, the 5'8" junior Dylan Hofer, Grady Jet, the 6'4" senior Luke Kaiser, 6'4" junior, and Brooks Jet, the 6'5" junior, is the other forward for Aberdeen Christian. Their opponent today, the Viborg Hurley Cougars. And shout out to the Shore Store. Viborg Hurley, they're watching today. Anytime Viborg Hurley's on, it's on out there. So hello to everybody there. The Cougars out of Viborg and Turner County. Shane Warwick, the head coach, 90. The school enrollment right at the bottom right at the top of Class B, I should say, as far as the numbers allow. Black and white, the school colors. On Wisconsin is the school song. Avon and Centerville fell victim to Viborg Hurley. White River in the Sodak 16. And then the loss yesterday to the upstart Lyman Raiders, the number 8 seed, knocking off number 1 here yesterday. Their lineup looks a little different today. Braden Morrison, 6'2" senior. Brenner Gerdes will get the start today. The 6'1" senior Brenner in for Nolan Koltoff, who was injured in that nasty collision right in front of us here near half court yesterday. Jake Austin, the point guard, 5'9" and a senior. Walker Warwick, the 6'3" senior, will play 1 forward. And then Brady Schrodemeyer, the 6'2" senior, 23 points per game. little rough start yesterday as far as just got some foul trouble, couldn't get going. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out right away, Steve, to get this team going.
Yeah, and Jake Austin really carried it for Viber Hurley yesterday, but I expect Schroedermeyer to obviously come back, and we'll see Aberdeen Christian too. Brooks Jett, their leading scorer, kind of a slower game for him, but had some other guys step up and shoot the ball really well early for him in that one. So we'll see how both these teams respond coming out this morning.
We look forward to what will be a busy day, day 2, consolation semifinals, and then championship semifinal Friday night in Aberdeen. There's nothing like it, and we'll talk more about that as we get toward 5 o'clock here this afternoon. Here's Kent Hansen, public address announcer.
Good morning. The City of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the session of the State B Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Today's tournament games are being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. At this time, would you please remain standing as we honor our nation and its flag with the singing of the national anthem. The proper etiquette is to stand at attention facing the flag. Remove all headgear and place your right hand over your heart. Veterans and out-of-uniform military personnel have the option of saluting. Today's national anthem will be sang by Josiah Baum of Warner High School under the direction of Sophie Olson. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Josiah. Our first game this morning will feature the Aberdeen Christian Knights and the Viborg Hurley Cougars. Let's meet today's officials. Our junior official from Viborg Hurley, Emma Peterson. And from Aberdeen Christian, Jeremiah Yai. Our game officials, Scott Whitlock, Spencer Auberly, Jeremy Michelson, and alternate official, Jordan Opp. number 0, Jed Johnson. And for the Cougars, 6'2", senior number 1, Braden Morrison. At our guard for the Knights, 5'8", junior number 1, Dylan Hofer. And for the Cougars, 6'1", senior number 2, Brenner Curtis. Out of forward for Aberdeen Christian, 6'4", senior number 2, Grady Jett. And for the Cougars, 5'9", senior number 3, Jake Austin. At a wing for the Knights, 6'4", junior number 3, Luke Kaiser. And for the Cougars, 6'3", senior number 5, Walker Warwick. In the middle for the Knights, 6'5", junior number 4, Brooks Jett. And for the Cougars, 6'2", senior number 23, Brady Schroedermeyer. The Knights are coached by Marcus Robinson, Khalil Bolden, and Jared Becker. The head coach of the Aberdeen Christian Knights, Matt Rohrbach. Weiberg Hurley is coached by Mason Madsen and Corey Jacobson. The head coach of the Cougars, Shane Warwick. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel Seed. Aberdeen Christian fans, are you ready? Cougar fans, are you ready? Today's Fan Checks is brought to you by the University of South Dakota. Let's play ball!
And we're ready to tip it up on day 2. It'll be Grady Jett jumping up against Brady Schroedermeyer. The Knights and the Cougars set to get it underway in our consolation semis. We're underway. Weiberg Hurley will control. Of course, Brenner Gertie's getting the start for Nolan Koltoff, who is here in attendance, in a cast and on crutches. And Schroedermeyer gets it going right away. Backdoor cutting the layup on the opposite side of the rim.
Good start by Weiberg Hurley, and we talked about it. It'll be interesting to see how these teams come out in the first few possessions of the energy they're going to bring in the 11 a.m. contest.
And again, talking with some folks from Weiberg Hurley, said they had a send off at the hotel to get them going somewhere. He said energy was a little bit weak, so it'll be interesting how they play, but pretty good start so far with a couple of backdoor cuts to get open. And we saw that highlight reel there, the one dunk with the flying in at Aberdeen Christian. That was that guy just blocked that shot there with Brooks Jett. Morrison for 3, left it short. Rebound, Schroedermeyer. Blocked again by Brooks Jett. Austin on the cut, misses it. Now Dylan Hofer will run for the Knights. Hofer 2-on-3, kick out. Back out top, Brooks Jett, cross-court pass. Hofer. Little zone being played right now, a little 1-2-2. Doesn't matter.
Kaiser knocks it down for Aberdeen Christian.
Yeah, interesting start for try to stay out of foul trouble maybe early, because obviously with Koltoff out, now you're even depleted more in your subs, so Weiberg Hurley decides to go in zone. Tough shot, Jake Austin.
Weiberg Hurley really utilizing those backdoor looks, which we saw a lot of yesterday, but maybe using the aggressiveness of Aberdeen Christian's defense against them a little bit to get started here.
Kaiser swing it right side. Jett Johnson 3, no. Rebound tipped out by Hofer. Hofer averages 5.5 rebounds. That's just a tip out so his team can keep it alive. Jett Johnson again, hoists one, no. Rebound and a foul. Good block out over there. Brenner Gertis with his first start in the state tournament. He draws the foul on Big Brooks Jett.
Well, we saw that 3-2 or 1-2-2, however you want to draw it up for Weiberg Hurley. We saw that a little bit yesterday, I think, when Schroedermeyer got in his foul trouble and stuff, but
lob inside, Schroedermeyer loses it, gets it right back. Morrison will swing it around. Warwick gonna set things, goes up top, Schroedermeyer. Morrison right wing, into Gertis. Brenner with the kick out, down to 10 on the shot clock. Schroedermeyer loses the handle. They're gonna say last touch by Aberdeen Christian. Walker Warwick not looking to shoot it. He just kind of gets everything going on the top, keeps the ball moving.
Facilitates, and yeah, just kind of.
I mean, they're literally backing off him, just taunting him to shoot it out top right now. Morrison, no good. Rebound, Schroedermeyer. Little leaner there to get that rebound. Good kick. There's Warwick, he was practicing that shot actually in warm-ups. I watched him shoot that little floater. Walker getting a chance to play on the court. Big brother played on a few years ago for Northern State a couple of times. Last year he played as well at St. Mary's. Luke Kaiser, another three. Top of the key, 6'4".
Yeah, I saw Sky earlier here, up behind us, I think.
Yeah, there is a lot of alumni walking around these halls on this weekend every year, isn't there?
Yeah.
Off the glass and in on the backdoor cut, Jake Austin.
Great look, and Viber Hurley kid's just so skilled at that back door, that drop pass, pocket pass, and
yeah, you talk about this 1-2-2, another great way to keep Brady Schroedermeyer out of foul trouble. Go to the media timeout here as we make the call on the foul down low. Foul is called on number 5. Walker Warwick is first. We're back with more when we return on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
From Wax Arena inside the Barnett Center, I'm Brad DeBeer on SDPB Sports alongside Steve Erickson as game number 1 of the consolation semifinals. Just 3.5 minutes in, 4:46 to play. 6-6 our score. About what you expected to start. Both teams kind of doing what they do so far.
feeling it out, and yeah, each team kind of running some sets on the offensive end to try to get some easy ones for themselves. And
the freshman number 5, Loyal Smith Wade, has checked in for Aberdeen Christian, along with number 15, Charles Eichler, a 6-foot freshman.
More of a 1-3-1 look here from Viber Hurley now.
Yeah, they move Schroedermeyer to a wing, and then he flies in to get that rebound.
Great block out by Curtis to keep Jed off the, Brooks Jed off the glass too, to allow Schroedermeyer to come in and get that one.
Warwick will pick it up 25 feet away, swing it around. Morrison, Austin, leave it on the baseline. And last touch by the official, but he was standing out of bounds, so it's actually off of
That was
Gertis.
a good look by Jake. It was just maybe a little too hot for Gertis. I wasn't quite ready for it to haul that one in. Lincoln Van Orsdale in for Viber Hurley. He does bring a little more size. That was one thing too, talking to some Viber Hurley people with Koltoff out. They do get a little bit smaller with their lineup. So
inside and up and good for Kaiser. Kaiser's got 8, so do the Knights. It's 8-6. Brooks Jett gonna guard Walker Warwick, just back off him, and then Warwick will throw it away on the corner. Leave to the baseline, up and in off the glass for Eichler, his first basket of the tournament. I think Viber Hurley only subbed Gertis and Van Orsdale yesterday, right? So again, with Koltoff off, there's 6 guys deep now.
Yep.
I saw a box score in one of the NCAA games yesterday. They only played 5 guys. All 5 guys played 40 minutes. Austin from 25 feet away on the Don Meyer logo. And he knocks down the 3. Austin's got 7 of the 9.
He kind of carried him yesterday offensively too to keep them in the basketball game. Shot it really well.
The freshman Eichler for 3.
Yeah, Eichler only got about a minute and a half yesterday of game time and making his presence felt already here today.
Austin again, the answer, yes! Just let it fly, Jake! 13-12. That's the fun part about this day, too. Roll it out and let it. Yeah, you want to win. You're going to do things when you need to, but early, just roll it out. Let's play.
And it shows you the kids are, these games still mean something to them, and they want to play and compete. So it's.
Eisler! He'll have the answer at the other end. 7 threes in this first quarter between the two teams. Schroedermeyer on the run out, and he'll get fouled going down the lane. He had visions of attacking that rim. You'll see him come right at you down the lane.
And then there's big number 4, Brooks Jett, coming over to get a piece of it too.
Kaiser will pick up the foul. He's got 1 foul. And Schroedermeyer will shoot the free throw. Brady makes the first. Dylan Hofer will come to the lane now. And the second one will fall. 4 points for Schroedermeyer. Then it's 16-14 Aberdeen Christian. Eichler says, give it to me. I'm open over here. He wants it on the wing. Across the lane to Brooks Jett, then the ball is kicked. Kaiser will trigger the inbound. They do a really good job of setting someone opposite the ball, attacking, and then finding that person. That one just good defense to kick it out of bounds. But
well, yeah, good job by the offense to recognize too when your guy leaves to settle in that spot and know where that pass needs to come from.
Shot attempt, that one hit the rim. It was a pass, but all the stat geeks are counting that as a shot attempt right now. Van Orsdale will push it up. Warwick inside. Schroedermeyer blocked from behind by Jett. Kaiser and Schroedermeyer will visit on the way down. Jett to the lane on the baseline, no. Van Orsdale gets it out of there finally. And then do we get a timeout? No, we're gonna have a hold called on Viberg Hurley. Jeremy Michelson says, Brenner Gertis with the hold. There's a lot going on in that play.
Well, Coach Warwick the whole time is just looking when the ref comes over to report that one. He's just pointing at the other end. And what about the same thing down there? He's asking him right now.
As coaches, we always do that, though, don't we? Like he's listening to us. He's in the middle of a play right now. He ain't listening to it. But I feel better. I got it off my chest. Morrison, Warwick, back to Morrison. Out top, Van Orsdale. Schroedermeyer, baseline. Use the body, get the foul. That's a great move. He turned his body, kept his shoulders squared up, but just got his back to the defense.
Just so strong and explosive. We talked about his leaping ability yesterday, but yeah, just able to keep the basketball away from the defender to finish strong through contact.
Talk about that with young kids at our camp all the time. They all want to fly in and do all these things. It's great. As long as your shoulders are square with the backboard when you shoot it, you're in good shape, right? You know, that's what his Airness always used to talk about. Michael Jordan used to, I've seen videos of him talking about that all the time. Schroedermeyer leaves it short. That foul, by the way, was on Grady Jett. Inside, Brooks Jett. Across the lane, Johnson lost a handle on it going up. Down to 30 seconds. Warwick will take it out of there. Look for one shot. Gonna bring Van Orsdale up for a screen. And they'll pass it off. Morrison for 3. Step back, no. Rebound, Brooks Jett. Probably shot that a little early. Now Aberdeen Christian's got a chance at the other end. Kaiser in traffic. Got his own rebound up and good. Three-quarter court heave for Warwick. No, just missed the camera lady on the end, and we're going to move on to the second quarter. 18-16, Aberdeen Christian, a fun first quarter here in game number 1 of our consolation semifinals. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. BankWest.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Inside Walks Arena, Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson, courtside. Fun first quarter. Steve, roll them out. Let's play hard, see what happens.
Yeah, and that's one thing you always talk about in these games, and we mentioned it early too, was, yeah, go ahead. You see Nolan Koltoff there on the sideline, and a big loss for the Viber Hurley squad, which I'm sure they're rallying around their senior and wanted to do this one as much for him as continuing to just play hard. But
well, and you said it's too bad if it's any kid, but when it's a senior starter, that it just hurts a little bit extra, you know.
Well, and I think even more so, a little bit more for Viber Hurley, because Koltoff was really their kind of their energizer bunny guy, and just brought a lot of hustle plays and that kind of stuff to the floor for the Cougars.
Schroedermeyer thought he had an easy one. Brooks Jett's timing is really good as a shot blocker.
Well, and that was, yeah, because Schroedermeyer got him up in the air, but he was still able to
get
back up off the floor a second time.
Tipped out of bounds by Hofer. Dylan Hofer's got quick hands too defensively, doesn't he? We talked about him yesterday. Obviously offensively, he's kind of a go-go guy, but defensively, just quick hands. Reminds me just of an old schooler. He looks like an 80s or 90s, early 90s kind of guy. Got the white ankle braces, and just, I don't know what it is. He just reminds me of
John Stockton look.
Yeah, John Stockton look. That's what it is. 3 on the way, Braden Morrison. Morrison gets it started with a triple as Viber Hurley leads 19-18. Brooks Jett no good off the back iron, and a foul going to be called against Walker Warwick. Warwick will pick up his second personal on the rebound. That first quarter are right through right now. Anyway, Aberdeen Christian 7 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from the three-point line. So shooting 43.8%. Viber Hurley 7 of 16, 3 for 6, shooting 43% for the game. So both teams shooting it pretty well here to get things started.
Yeah, and if you look at yesterday, go back to yesterday's game, both teams shot it really well in the first half, and then the second half when you know, both of them kind of relinquished those leads a little bit, that's when they cooled off. So
yeah, Lyman and Castlewood played so well second half yesterday against both of these different teams. Hofer, leave it down the baseline. Eichler, freshman, will back it out. Throw it to Kaiser. Kaiser, top of the key. Double teamed out of that 1-3-1. 1-3-1 always turns into a 2-3 as everybody rotates. And Luke Kaiser with another 3. Kaiser's got 13.
Led Aberdeen Christian with 11 yesterday, but put them on their back earlier.
In for Viberg Hurley, we didn't see him at all yesterday. Wearing number 50, Caden Thibodeau Lindemann. Schroedermeyer to the paint. Little body there. Boy, that's again that strength you were talking about. You could see it as he went through the body to get that shot up and in.
You know, and he initiated a little bit of that contact, but the ability to just stay balanced when you know, to take that contact or absorb that and stay balanced to get that shot off.
Kaiser misses. Schroedermeyer will rebound, run it out. Austin. Here comes Schroedermeyer, the dunk. No. Timing wasn't great. Just never really got off the floor. I thought it was coming. I think he thought it was going off the backboard, actually. Morrison thought he got fouled. Down inside, Hofer from Luke Kaiser.
And he just loses track of that backdoor cut from Hofer.
23-21. Lindemann leaves it for Austin. Austin back to Lindemann. Schroedermeyer against Luke Kaiser. That's a good matchup. Braden Morrison misses the long three. Gertis might have popped Kaiser in the cheek there as he was trying to knock that ball away. Smith Wade, three-pointer for lefty, no good. Rebound Morrison, and Vibert Hurley gonna slow it up. They look a little tired right now, don't they?
So I was gonna say, I'm sure both of these teams have throughout the course of the season at some point played a back-to-back, but maybe not a night or afternoon game and then 11 o'clock the next morning.
Right. Schroedermeyer couldn't quite get it. Technical foul going to be called against Braden Morrison. Not sure what for. I think we'll take the media timeout. He'll report it, and then we'll come back out. They're going to shoot the technical foul first, and then we'll do it maybe. Yeah, we're going to take the media first. There we go. We got it. We got their attention. So we'll take the media, come back to a technical foul shot or two, and then get back to action. We'll return here on SDPB Sports.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
And we're back inside Watts Arena. Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. 4:49 to play. We're going to come out to technical foul shots. Luke Kaiser is going to get both shots here for Aberdeen, or for Aberdeen Christian. Vibert Hurley assessed with a technical foul. Braden Morrison must have said something, gestured something. Official made that call quick at half court. First shot is no good for Kaiser. He'll ready for the second. And knock that one down. 14 points in the half here for Kaiser. 14 of the 24 for Aberdeen Christian. Eichler will trigger the inbound, get it back from Hofer, and we're off and running. Swing it around, Smith Wade, left baseline, in traffic.
I see Vibert Hurley too, trying to trap out of that a little bit in corners. And
Shane Warwick super animated today along the sidelines, isn't he? I mean, he was yesterday a little, but today I've noticed him a few times, and it's with his own team. He's just trying to get them in spots, and he has hands up. It's everywhere.
Well, you had mentioned yesterday too, not to beat a dead horse, but just trying to get some energy with his team too. And
Eichler will knock it away from Schroedermeyer.
Just to
kind of
play
get some
through
hands
those
up.
lulls a little bit. And
Well, and again, if you're not active on the sidelines, sometimes your team will play the way you are. And I'm not saying you got to be crazy over there, but sometimes you try to get them going just by being active on the sidelines, right? To kind of change the energy. Kids are playing hard right now. There's no doubt about that. Kaiser, Euro. Leaner, no good, gets his own rebound, up in traffic, off the glass, and good. Luke Kaiser having himself a game. 16 and a half for Kaiser.
And throw in 6 or 7 rebounds on top of that too to keep it going. So
yeah, 7 actually. That was his 7th rebound of this first half. Vibert Hurley hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Leave it for Van Orsdale. In traffic. Going to go to the free throw line. Got the foul. Good ball fake.
A great job of playing off it too, because like you had mentioned, Brooks Jett has that ability to well-timed shot blocker, and he saw it coming over. So
yeah, and the foul ends up going on Hofer, but you saw that. Oh, banking that free throw. It's open here on a Friday morning. You saw Jett, the length of it, but he kind of jumps backwards as he blocks that shot to not get body.
That space, and yeah.
It's kind of an art form for him. It looks like he's done that all year long. I think he had, what, 36 block shots or something I saw when I was talking about him yesterday a little bit. Eichler will go into Kaiser, lose the handle. Schroedermeyer gets tipped over. Loose ball, and they all were going for it at once. Held ball will go Viberg Hurley's way. More subs back in here. Brenner Gertis is back. Austin, Gertis, Schroedermeyer, Van Orsdale, and Warwick for Viberg Hurley. Jett, Kaiser, Hofer,
Eichler.
And Eichler. Actually, Jett Johnson, not Jett and Jett. Brooks Jett and Jett Johnson. Got to remember that. 26-22.
You're kind of right with the Jett, just the wrong.
3:17 to play. Scoring has sagged off a little bit here in the second quarter. Only 4 points in the quarter. No, take that back. 6 points in the quarter for Viberg Hurley. 8 points for Aberdeen Christian. Kaiser turnaround in the lane. He's got 8 of his own here in the quarter. 18 on the half. Schroedermeyer call out a set. Skip a screen. Viberg Hurley looks a little disoriented though, right? Like they're just not in a great flow offensively right now. Lindemann too strong. Rebound pushed out by Hofer. On the run, Kaiser. Good block by Schroedermeyer. Schroedermeyer will come out of there with it. Leave it to Austin. Austin three-pointer on the way. Got it in transition. Jake Austin.
It's a great job by Schroedermeyer too to give that up and run to the backside block. And
skip it out here. Joe Alco's ready for that one. Protect that computer. 3 for Jett Johnson. Swat out of bounds as Eichler comes from the help side. Lindemann will come out. Morrison and Warwick back in. Oh, also out Van Orsdale. So there we go, 2 for 2. I didn't see Van Orsdale going. I thought, hold on, you got too many guys. A kick to stop play. Schroedermeyer's been on the deck a lot in 2 days also. Yesterday, high flying. I mean, when you jump that high, it's a long fall down, right? Warwick floater, no.
Dude, and amidst all the big fellas down low too, it seems like.
Well, we talked about that yesterday. That's the transformation that he's had to make in his game to go from predominantly perimeter player last year to now having to go inside, outside, do everything for this team.
Yeah, he's kind of their big guy too, yeah, so to speak. So
call that on Schroedermeyer as he went for the steal, ran into Hofer. So just Brady's first foul. Yesterday he was in big foul trouble. Hofer for 3, no. Rebound, Brooks Jett up and off the glass and in over Warwick. 33-25, Aberdeen Christian by 8. Austin looks to slice the defense on the left side. Braden Morrison 3, no good.
I think Viberg Hurley just getting the looks they want on the offensive end, just not.
Foul up top on Austin.
just not knocking them down right now. And Aberdeen Christian on this end is a little more deliberate, a little more patient against the zone from Viber Hurley, but getting the looks they want, and right now are finishing shots.
1 of 10 is Viberg Hurley. Of their last 10 shots, they're 1 of 10. So you're right, they're getting looks. Even if you're 40% of that, probably tied in this ball game. Jet Johnson, long 3, in and out, no. Rebound inside, no. Schroedermeyer might have got a piece of that. If not, he made it tough to score. Austin will bring it out.
Great rebound by Hofer, too. Talk about his rebounding ability from that point guard position for Aberdeen Christian.
That's a luxury to have. When you got a point guard that's willing to go rebound defensively or offensively, I mean, man, you can get a lot of extra possessions. Down to 15 seconds on the shot clock. Again, we're not going to visit with coaches at halftime this afternoon. We'll visit with the winning coach after the game. However, tonight we're back to halftime and post-game conversations. 2-1. Schroedermeyer, left hand. They're going to wave it off. They'll say no good. I'm going to say it's still in his hand. Let's see it. I thought so in live time.
I think I agree with Coach Michelson, or Jeremy Michelson, too.
No, still in his hand. It's a great call. Still in his hand.
That's the right call.
Watch the scoreboard. That's a great call by Jeremy Michelson. Yep. Yeah, it was a
great job
call
by the officials, too, to get together here and discuss it, too, though. But, yeah, it's...
Yeah. And, again, Coach Warwick, come out, just ask him, calm everybody down. Let's move on to the second half.
As much as you want that, I mean, that could have been a huge shot of momentum in the arm for Vibrant Hurley going into halftime, but...
Definitely the right call. Great work again by our crew from Bison High School. Nice job, guys and girls, on the camera work there. Take a break. We'll come back with more on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Back inside Walks Arena on the campus of Northern State University. And by the way, we go back, if you were with us for the national anthem, young man that sang that national anthem, Josiah Baum, a senior at Warner High School. His director, choir director came over, Sophie Olsen came over and gave me a little background. He is obviously a standout athlete at Warner on the football field, basketball court, runs track and field, is going to be a freshman at Northern State University, going to play football. So a future Northern State Wolf football player singing our national anthem. Did a fantastic job, by the way, to open things up today.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the morning started here, and followed by a great half of basketball from both these teams.
So 13 of 29 from the field for Aberdeen Christian. 6 of 14 from behind the arc, and they went 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Take a look at some of those first half highlights. It was a three-point shooting clinic for a little while between both of these teams. There was that little fadeaway on the baseline. Luke Kaiser kind of got it going. A big half for Luke. He had 18 in the first half. Jake Austin off and running.
And I think it's just that the 8-point margin here. I think is just that 1 of 10 or 1 of 11 down the stretch from Viborg Hurley. They were getting the looks like we said they wanted, just having to adjust. We talked about Brooks Jett's ability to block shots. So Viborg Hurley, when they're attacking the rim, worrying about that a little bit. But some of their 3-point shots and stuff too have been kind of in and out. And
they ended up going 9 of 27. You talked about that 1 for 10 stretch. Went 9 for 27 from the field, 4 of 10 from the 3-point line. Did go 3 of 5 at the free throw line. Aberdeen Christian winning the battle of the boards, 19-17. 5 turnovers for the night, 7 turnovers for Viborg Hurley. And Aberdeen Christian maybe sharing the ball a little bit better. There's Doug Schauer up at Faith AD and his son. They've been a part of some state tournament basketball action here. Very good. Got it. Yep, got it last night. Thanks, buddy. Oh, yeah, gotcha. We said Yackley. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Brian White's giving us some updates. Thank you. We will fix that tonight. Or today here. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. The other stat I was looking at, talking about those assists, sharing the ball, making that 1 extra pass to get some of those open looks in order to get a couple of those threes.
Yeah, and Dylan Hofer, 7 assists for Aberdeen Christian, kind of the guy that facilitates and gets his guys in the right spot. But when you have the spacing and the guys that can shoot it like they have on the floor, it's that extra pass and knocking shots down. We mentioned it looking at the stats from yesterday. Both these teams very similar shooting wise in the first halves yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see. Aberdeen Christian complete opposite in the second half yesterday. 0 for the 3-point line in the second half against Castlewood. I'm sure that's what Viborg Hurley's talking about at halftime too. How can we run these guys off their spots and maybe get them missing a few here?
Well, we'll find out in 4.5 minutes what these teams have done for adjustments as they come back out. We'll take a break and come back, get you set and ready for that final 16 minutes when we return. It's halftime of our consolation semifinal with Aberdeen Christian leading Viborg Hurley 33-25. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Back inside Locks Arena on the campus of Northern State University. Thanks for having us on. The interesting messages you receive. I just actually got a text message that my dogs were wandering into somebody else's yard. They'd appreciate it if I could keep them out. Except I have 3 cats and no dogs, so I don't think I'll answer that one.
Maybe it went to mine. Nobody's at home. So
that could be.
Missy's at work, and the
there you go.
Scout might be roaming the neighborhood.
Let him in. 1:25 left in our halftime, and the Aberdeen Christian and Viborg Hurley teams both out here with their halftime shoot-around. All the green Viborg Hurley fans, by the way.
Just want it to be known that Brad and I just both told an official that they made the right call there, too.
That's my 2nd time this year. I told Ruth that once. I had to swallow my pride a lot when I said that one, but I'm not afraid to tell Jeremy he was right. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was a great call at the end of the half if you go back and look at the replay.
Yes, Brett, we love you too. I know he's watching. Yeah, it was. You're able to see that. The red light was obviously on. And that is such a hard call, though. And again, emotions come in. Viborg Hurley is upset that they didn't count it because they hadn't pound baskets for a while. They wanted anything to count, right?
Yep.
I mean, you're just emotional about it. But it's, again, the beauty of the red light on the boards now and that kind of stuff, too. You can see it go off. And I think without that, you maybe don't know that they maybe let that one go.
Yeah, because if you're just going strictly by the sound and seeing it in his hand, that's
right.
A little bit different. But that,
yeah, the Dolphins are in the house.
So
all right,
really helps out. The officials make those end of the game calls too.
Yeah, for sure. Looks to be a good second half. We'll see the adjustments that Coach Warwick will make. Interesting to see if maybe he'll come out a little man-to-man. He stayed out of foul trouble, at least with Schroedermeyer, who got in some foul trouble yesterday. But overall, even though they got Walker Warwick's got 2, otherwise 3 other players with 1 foul. And they like to play more man-to-man, I think, than they do zone. But he sat in this zone. Although, how do you guard Brooks Jett if he decides to go to the block?
Well, that's just it. I think Aberdeen Christian's size, I think, presents a little bit of a challenge for Viborg Hurley, too. But
they'll go 1-3-1 out of it and put Morrison on the baseline, leave Jake Austin on top. So, yeah, without Kolthoff in the lineup, I think you lose that guy that can guard the post player like a Brooks Jett. So, Luke Kaiser 3. Let's just pick up where we left off, huh? Luke with the triple.
And if you're Aberdeen Christian, the absolute perfect start that you wanted coming out of half, and Viborg Hurley, you're just...
Jake Austin. That one kind of came out the hand funny. He left it to the right side. 30 seconds in, 36-25, 11-point lead here for Aberdeen Christian. They have really come out, played well, especially Luke Kaiser. He has shot the ball tremendously here in this ball game. The lob to Jett, tipped out by Schroedermeyer. Austin was already taken off, leaking out. Brooks Jett inside baseline, fired a little too hard to Grady Jett. Off the hands of Grady, out of bounds.
Yeah, good look on that baseline pass. Just maybe, yeah, a little too hot, not quite ready for it.
A little hot when you're running across the baseline with just your one hand out. That's going to be a tough catch.
Tough angle, too.
Yeah, for sure. Jake Austin, right wing, guarded by Hofer, man-to-man for Aberdeen Christian. Again, they're just leaving Brooks Jett in the lane, letting Walker Warwick stand out there unguarded. 3 for Schroedermeyer. No. Rebound, Brooks Jett.
It's one thing you haven't seen Brady do a lot of this weekend either, shoot it from the outside. He really tries to attack the rim a lot more, but giving it to him that time and he takes it, but just rattles off again.
And down 11, you might need to hit a couple threes here to kind of get things going and get everybody juiced up again. There's a good takeaway. Hard to throw that over top of Brady, such a good athlete on the wing.
And the one with Viborg Hurley's athletes too, the 1-3-1 they're running, he put just good pressure and able to jump those wing passes.
There's the 3, Braden Morrison.
Talked about him yesterday quite a bit too. Doesn't need a lot of room to get that 3-point shot off, and there's a prime example. And see if that gets him going a little bit too.
In the paint, Kaiser playing so well right now. Luke Kaiser, 23 in the game, and a 38-28 lead for the hometown Aberdeen Christian Knights.
most impressive part of that by Kaiser right there on that last play was he was open where he was standing, but when they came to double on the baseline side, he cut to the basket instead of just standing where he's at saying he was open. So just that understanding and spacing of what you're trying to do with your teammates is huge.
Coach Warwick looked over at his assistant coach and said, well, it's stagnant right now. He said, we got to get timeout. So uses the 30 to try to get him going again, goes to his play sheet and try to come up with a couple of different sets or maybe something to get a little more movement. Got to do something to bring Brooks Jett out of the lane, don't you?
Yeah, and I think we talked about it yesterday too. Coach Warwick's got a ton of those sets that he can go to and stuff like that. It's trying to figure out, put guys in positions to the matchups that you want on this end of the floor and that are going to benefit you. And you know, it's one of those situations too. It's a 10-point basketball game for Vibrant Hurley, down 10, but still in it. But it must feel like they're down 15 or 20 the way they're shooting the basketball right now. And you can just see a few more go in the hoop and make a little bit of a run here. But you've seen Aberdeen Christian too on the offensive end with an answer every time, and mainly from Luke Kaiser.
Yeah, for sure. And again, the way some of these kids shoot the three-point ball, I think they can get these leads cut faster. But again, if you can just have a goal, cut it in half by the end of the quarter or the middle of the quarter. Now it's back to 6. It's manageable, you know what I mean? Or 5. It's manageable.
Schroedermeyer on the foul on the rebound there.
Yeah, he'll pick up his second personal. 5:15 to play in the third. 38-28. Aberdeen Christian. Hofer. Set the offense. Swing it to Brooks Jett.
Vibrant Hurley goes man-to-man now, it looks like, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to get matchups. Who's going to guard who? Grady Jett in the paint. Missed it. Tipped around. Tipped out. Saved by Jake Austin. Austin will push middle of the floor. Got numbers. Now he'll attack the lane. Glide through the air. Brenner Gerdes couldn't quite tip it up and in. And Aberdeen Christian comes away with it. Dylan Hofer. Bring the night set once again. Jett Johnson dude. Jett gonna miss that one. It's Brooks.
First time
taking it real strong.
Yeah, and I mean, hasn't tried to do a whole lot on the offensive end, just kind of being the point guard on the bottom against that zone, but there he tried to.
Both teams do. They look a little tired though. Luke Kaiser is about the only one that really has looked. Jake Austin looks like he's motor always goes. But everybody else just looks like they need a little extra break right now.
Yep.
Brooks Jett for 3. Too strong. Rebound. Grady Jett. Brooks thought about it again. Lob it into Grady Jett, guarded there by Warwick. Brooks Jett to the lane against Gerdes. Loses the handle, gets it back. Luke Kaiser against Schroedermeyer. Just about a moving screen. Brooks Jett just kind of run through Schroedermeyer. And Jett Johnson will hit the 3. His second 3 of the game. He had one in the second quarter.
6 points for Jett on the afternoon here.
Viberg Hurley again, 2 minutes 37 seconds. Now 2 minutes and 45 second scoring drought. Hofer back out top. 3 minutes to play in the quarter. We still haven't had our media timeout. We had a foul at 3:15 or a dead ball, and then we haven't had one for the last 2.5 minutes. Hofer gets loose underneath. Great backdoor and a nice pass. 41-28. Lob too strong and out of bounds. We'll finally get to our media timeout, and we'll have some subs with 2:41 to play. We're back to finish off quarter number 3 in a moment on SDPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
The story of Leopold and Loeb is the story of the original crime of the century.
These two privileged boys killed another boy from within their community, and we have no reasonable explanation for it.
They're going to create the perfect crime. It's fun for them.
Deadly Alliance, Leopold and Loeb, on American Stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Back from the immediate timeout with 2:41 to play in our third quarter. And Viborg Hurley will, or excuse me, Aberdeen Christian will have the basketball. Length of the floor to go. As we are underway on day number 2. Should be another good one coming up here in just a little bit. Our second game of the day will be Sully Buttes and D. Smith. Should be a fun one to watch. Smith-Wade loses the handle. Aberdeen Christian will control with Hofer again. Now Smith-Wade, left-handed freshman. Kick it out top, Hofer. Hofer, swing it left wing. Smith-Wade, kick it out top again, and 5 on the shot clock, down to 3. Gonna be a travel. One too many hops for Dylan Hofer as he just tried to make something out of nothing. Good defensive stop that time for Viborg Hurley. Need a bucket. Viborg Hurley, 4:01 scoring drought right now. That's a good way to start it. Jake Austin on the runner. Now you got to get stops.
Jake's kind of been their guy all weekend, or both games so far in this tournament, that has been a consistent threat for them on the offensive end.
Kaiser misses the runner, gets his own rebound, stuck in traffic, kicks it out. Smith-Wade will swing it. Brooks Jett, right wing 3, short, brought up on the rebound by Walker. Warwick, he'll pass it up to Austin. Gonna see the man-to-man again from Aberdeen Christian. Warwick will be fouled by Brooks Jett on the drive that time. I don't know if they'll get Hofer or if they'll get Brooks Jett. I didn't see who they called that on. They did call it on Brooks, his second personal.
Viborg Hurley just trying to search for a combination that'll provide a little spark here and get something going.
Lob on the inbound to Schroedermeyer, rises up over Kaiser and lays it in. 10 points for Brady Schroedermeyer, in double digits for the first time this weekend. Brooks Jett. Schroedermeyer on the run out. We're going to get one. Schroedermeyer with the dunk. Is that the spark the Cougars need? 43-34, back to 9.
Great couple sets for Viborg Hurley, the out-of-bounds play, and then the defense leading to offense from Schroedermeyer.
Kaiser 3, no good. Schroedermeyer, he's got Gertis on the run out against Kaiser. Draws some contact and finishes, no foul. Brenner Gertis, his first basket of the game. It's back to 7. We got us a ball game as we approach the final 20 seconds here of the third quarter.
Great response from Viborg Hurley. 8-0 run here over the last minute 16. And now Aberdeen Christian with the scoring drought of 2.5+ minutes.
Kaiser just about pushed off. They're going to say no before the shot, a hold. Schroedermeyer, they're going to get Brady with a grab, I think, just by his reaction. Yeah, foul on Schroedermeyer, his third personal. He'll have to come out. They'll take Warwick out here on this last little bit. Warwick replaced by Noah Wardell, 6'3" junior. Baseline 3, Grady Jett too strong. We'll go to our final 8 minutes on day number 1, or day number 2 of our opening game. There's that finish flush from Schroedermeyer. Back with more on SDPB.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also powers South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson from Walks Arena, the Barnett Center on the campus of Northern State University here in Aberdeen. As Viborg Hurley, Steve, hung around. They went in a drought of about 4 minutes and 1 second there where they didn't score. But then a couple of quick runouts, a little defense amped it up, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point game.
Yeah, we just mentioned that. It's like if they could see the ball go through the basket a couple times, maybe get themselves going, and mentioned kind of subbing some guys in and out, just trying to find that spark, and maybe they found it there.
Let's be honest, we all talked about defense has got to lead the offense. Let's go, let's go. But honestly, when you make a couple buckets, you play defense a lot harder, right? Like that just happens.
It just feeds into each other, and you play off of each other. So
Schroedermeyer taken down as he was going to attack the rim hard on that drive.
Neat little handoff setup there between Austin and Schroedermeyer. And man, he gets going downhill. It's a freight train coming through there.
Kaiser picked up the foul. That burst of speed. Schroedermeyer will go get it. Schroedermeyer versus Kaiser. Bring it up to Morrison. Schroedermeyer, jumper, left elbow. Can't get it to fall. Everything's a little flat on the jump shot. He gets up so high, but that release point is a little lower. I don't know what it is, but just Hofer swinging around. Now Grady Jett go to Brooks at the free throw line. Schroedermeyer, got to be careful. He's got 3 fouls. He'll get the rebound, and he'll push. Here's that burst of speed for Schroedermeyer. Up off the glass and good. Schroedermeyer has 14, and it's a 5-point game.
It's impressive to be able to take that contact and to be able to shoot it with that touch still. Well, that fast and that contact and then that
full speed
and then that touch.
Slow it down, then burst again. I wonder what that's like to have that. I mean, you and I are just all go all the time, so it's the change of speed for me. Schroedermeyer on the run out. We're gonna have a foul going the other way. That foul gonna be on Johnson, I think. Yep, Jett Johnson with the push from behind. Tried to keep that alive just by swatting it out of the lane. That's Jett's second personal. 5-point game once again for Viborg Hurley. The Cougars have just done just enough to hang around. Morrison to Warwick. The runner, Warwick. Last touch by, they're going to say off of Brooks Jett. Warwick's trying to take that right at Brooks Jett, and he's, not today.
Thought maybe he'd back off him a little bit, but he stayed right there.
Yeah, actually came out at him. Schroedermeyer, backdoor cut Morrison, and the flip up off the glass and in. Braden Morrison with 8 points, and it's a 3-point game. Viborg Hurley fans to their feet. The foul going to be called on Warwick. They're going to call him for the hold. He thought he got pushed.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Warwick didn't agree with the call. Right away, anyway. Jett Johnson 3, no. Rebound, good block out Schroedermeyer to keep Brooks Jett off of the boards. Under 6 to play in the game. 43-40. Schroedermeyer down the lane in traffic, no. Tipped out by Gertis, saved though by Grady Jett. Jet loses the handle. Schroedermeyer got to be smart with 2 fouls and a timeout called by Coach Rohrbach. Man, we're going to use a 30, I believe, 30-second timeout, so we'll just keep it right here. 12:10 our time, and well, this has been a good hour of basketball, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen runs both ways. Aberdeen Christian kind of in firm control of the game and what they want to be doing throughout until kind of the end of that third quarter. And the beginning of the fourth here, Viber Hurley's put together a nice little run, and you mentioned it too. The offense turns into defense and vice versa.
It's a great time of year. You got NCAA basketball started yesterday. Had some upsets. 6 lower seeds winning on the opening day, I think I heard this morning. And then a couple teams that were higher seeds had to come from behind to save a victory. The Blue Devils of Duke being one. A little trap action out of the timeout for Viborg Hurley. Lob. Brooks Jet blocked. They're going to call a foul on Schroedermeyer. Schroedermeyer had ball for sure. Did he get the arm? We'll see it right here. The lob. Right there. Oh, yeah, that's a foul. I'm not sure what we're yelling at. He grabbed the tape of Brooks Jet on that right wrist. So, yeah, there was definitely a foul.
The play still continues after the block still. So
yeah, just because the ball was touched doesn't mean it's dead, right?
Yeah.
An emotional game, isn't it, the whole basketball? 4th foul on Schroedermeyer. Now he's going to have to be smart. Stay aggressive on offense, but defensively they're going to have to maybe mix it back up again. 3-point game as Jet missed both of those free throws. Austin loses it, gets it back. A timeout. They want it on the side, or they're trying to find out where it's at. 30-second timeout. Going to be up at the 28-foot mark, as that one was outside the 3-point line, so move it to the sideline. 5:16 to play. I've talked more about placement of the basketball in the last 2 weekends because of that than I even thought about all season long as I was coaching.
The new change, yeah.
I like it. I mean, it just
makes
what it
sense.
is.
Yep.
I like that you don't get stuck in a weird corner on the side. You know what I mean? Like you're on the baseline corner or something like that. Who draws up sideline out of bounds placement? That 1-foot square in the corner. They have nowhere to go.
A facility like this is a little bit different, but some of the smaller gyms too, you get in those corners. It's kind of a
it's a dead zone a lot of times, isn't it?
Not fun to be there.
5:16 to play. Morrison up top to Austin. They set it again. No, the out of bounds, or the play out of the out of bounds didn't come to fruition. Schroedermeyer is going to roll that, gets it back. And they're going to say timeout. Viborg Hurley, he got it with 5:02. Here you see the loose ball. Timeout called. Yep, they're being called on the floor and Coach Warwick. So that's always the one too. It's a loose ball. They're diving for it. You saw, I don't even know who it was, but dives on the back of Schroedermeyer. As a coach, why is that not a foul? If they're both standing, you can't run into them. That's a foul, right? Again, it's a loose ball. I get it. It's a judgment call, so it's not like.
Oh, and especially there when the ball wasn't even visible.
Right.
Straight on his back, kind of. But yeah. And that's what you tell your kids too. You teach them to hustle and dive for loose balls and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
got America theme going on there for, looks like, Aberdeen Christian's fans. The green theme still going on for Viborg Hurley. There's a good look underneath the baseline where we'll trigger the inbound. Walker Warwick, number 5, will inbound it. 1-4 set across the midline, across the midway up the lane. Viber Hurley down to 2 timeouts, but they'll get the media timeout yet. Austin to tie. No. Rebound. Foul from behind as Warwick came down hard on his butt. He was holding that left cheek. We're going to go to the media timeout. With 4:59 to play, timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. We're back with more on
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education. Learning, leadership, service.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land. Committed to the future. Bank West.
Out of the media timeout, we will have the inbound on the baseline. Another good ball game here, 43-40, just what we can have, and what else could we ask for as basketball fans, right? Just keep, every game's been under 10 points so far, and it's been fun.
Close, and yeah.
Teams have had to make big plays to come from behind.
Yeah, there's been chances in a few of the ball games where it's been teams have looked like they could run and put it away and kind of blow it open a little bit more.
Austin for 3. No, back-to-back attempts from that corner and just couldn't come up with it. That's an offensive foul for sure. This team has taken over 30 charges this year. That was a key that they wanted to do.
The big thing right there, and they've let them have that contact kind of all weekend long, but the thing right there, he kind of brought the shoulder into Schroedermeyer. And
Kaiser picks up the 3rd foul. Austin. Warwick, baseline Morrison, tough jumper on the baseline from 12 feet. Morrison has 10 in the game, and it's a 1-point lead for Aberdeen Christian. They've led by double digits in this game.
Kaiser's been really quiet for Aberdeen Christian.
They have 5 in the 3rd quarter, but just can't get them to go. Smith Wade with the putback, the freshman. His first basket of the game. Lob over the top. Tried to sell the bump on after the shot, but not going to get it. Austin running around chasing Hofer. 3-pointer, Brooks Jett, no. Rebound battle for Loyal Smith Wade with another offensive putback. And it's back to 5, 47-42.
2 big offensive rebound putbacks for Loyal. Gives Aberdeen Christian a little bit of breathing room here too.
Jake Austin to the baseline. Has it hit by Brooks Jett out of bounds. Last touch by Aberdeen Christian. That'll trigger an inbound and bring Van Orsdale into the game. Out will come Braden Morrison. With 3:05 to play, Coach Warwick going to give Braden one final break, and he's going to have to come back with probably, what, 2.5 just to keep going. Loyal Smith Wade, he's been big in the last 4 minutes of this game. Come in and a couple of buckets, offensive putbacks, and then a takeaway there. Brooks Jett. Slow it down. Go to Kaiser. Kaiser against Schroedermeyer. Jumper on the way. Luke Kaiser makes it a 7-point cushion.
Nice touch from Kaiser.
Yeah, he's got a big one tonight, 25 points in the game. Austin just about pulled off a 3-point play opportunity. He'll have free throws instead.
Good patience by Jake there. He was trapped and then uses the pivot, comes around and turns back, and the one defender left, so he's open for a look.
Got popped right on the side of the head there by number 1 Dylan Hofer. Timeout to Aberdeen Christian. I think it's a 30. It is. So again, we'll keep it here with 2:31 to play. 2 timeouts remaining for Viborg Hurley, 3 for Aberdeen Christian. The possession arrow in favor of the Knights. Fouls, Aberdeen Christian has 5 team fouls. Viborg Hurley just 2 team fouls, but 4 of the total fouls are on Brady Schodemeyer. So
yeah,
his 4 fouls have to be careful.
And they're not playing a ton of guys either, so they don't have the luxury of guys fouling out either.
Yeah, Van Orsdale and Werdell have been their main subs, and they come in, look for them to kind of give one up quick if you need to here over the last 2.5. Jake Austin out of a timeout will go to the free throw line. Austin, free throw is good. 16 in the game for Jake Austin. The 5'9" senior guard. Averages 12 points per game. So a nice night for him now with 17. Back to 5, 49-44. Dylan Hofer across the timeline. Brooks Jett looks for the lob. Grady decides to stay in the corner. Out top, Brooks Jett fired across the lane, taken away by Van Orsdale. Ill-advised pass that time. A lot of hands to throw it through.
One of those where was he open? Yeah, but the angle from where that pass had to come from. And
rebound batted around as Van Orsdale tried the 3, and Aberdeen Christian comes away with it. Warwick will come up, try to get it out of the hands of Kaiser. Hofer will get it now in the far right corner. Dribble at top of the key. Aberdeen Christian going to get real patient right now. Try to look to take some clock. Maybe go at about 12, 10 maybe. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Kaiser guarded by Austin. A foul. All the way down to 6 on the shot clock. Then they bail him out with the foul. 2 free throws coming for Kaiser. Foul called on number 3, Jake Austin, his 2nd personal.
Jake did a really good job getting him cut off on the baseline, but then just kind of.
Austin thought it was on the drive. Yeah, it was push on the drive. So before the shot. So no free throws for Kaiser as Van Orsdale comes out. Starters back on the floor for Viborg Hurley. Schrodemeyer comes out of there with it somehow. Gonna get a layup out of it. I don't know how he kept that handle on that.
Not sure how he stayed on his feet.
Unbelievable.
Plus dribble the basketball and plus finish. Shows off his athleticism.
Oh, you're no kidding. That'll bode well as people try to tackle him in the pocket at SDSU. Going there to play quarterback. Hopefully for his sake, he's going there to play quarterback, right? He's got a cousin to try to play against or learn from, maybe. The putback good for Grady Jett. Under a minute to play. Austin against Hofer, way out high. Timeout going to be called by Viborg Hurley. I think it'll be a full. We'll see. I think he used his 2:30s already. We'll see. It is a full. With that full, we'll step away. Back in 45 seconds on SDPB Sports.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson, Locks Arena in Aberdeen and Northern State University, and in your living rooms and restaurants and classrooms. Yeah. Shout out to the 5th grade classroom in Menno Elementary School. Mrs. Schultz's 5th graders are watching in, so the youth wolves, if you will, I don't know if they call them pups. I'm not sure. Anyway, the Menno Wolves are watching in today. Jake Austin for 3 from the corner. Got it! Jake Austin with a little fadeaway 3 on the baseline. Right there. 51-49. Don't have to foul yet. Thought he did, but
yeah.
There's only
I don't think he was. I mean,
yeah, have to now. I was say there's only about a half a second difference.
So I don't think he was necessarily not trying to foul back here, but wouldn't have been upset if it would have got called.
One of those where go for it. If it doesn't get called and you get a steal, so be it. 22 seconds to play. 0.4 of a second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Try a steal, instantly foul here coming for Viborg Hurley, I would think. And an offensive foul. Dylan Hofer throws Walker Warwick to the ground. Wow.
Great play by, Walker. He baited it into it a little bit.
We've talked about how they've left him open the whole time offensively. Brooks Jett stepped away, and he did extend it. Maybe got pulled in, but credit Walker for doing that. Morrison to Schroedermeyer. Schroedermeyer in the paint. Swinging around. Morrison for 3 in the lead off the glass. No. Rebound. Brooks Jett fires it back to Kaiser. Schroedermeyer can't foul. And Aberdeen Christian calls timeout with 6.7 seconds to play. Interesting. Now Viborg Hurley's got a chance.
Not believing Brooks Jett even gets that rebound. Could have got himself out of there, but threw it back towards Viborg Hurley's basket too. So I think Kaiser,
they were trying to get him. He wants the basketball in his hands right now.
Well, and Schroedermeyer's right there and couldn't foul with those 4.
Right.
So,
and they say you say couldn't, but at that point, do you just have to give that one up?
But then Kaiser calls the timeout to help you out a little bit. So you're still going to need a little more help from, if you're Viborg Hurley, from Aberdeen Christian to hopefully either get to turn one over for you or to miss a free throw to have a chance. But
well, and here now you have to stay stationary on the inbound. You don't get to run. It wasn't on a make. Timeout came off of a missed shot in the corner. So it'll be interesting to see. Do you put to keep Schroedermeyer from fouling? They actually checked him out of the game now.
Viborg Hurley with 1 timeout left. Aberdeen Christian now has 2.
I thought maybe you leave Schroedermeyer in over the ball here with his leaping ability and make it tough to throw it in, so he's on the floor, but you're going to foul right away anyway.
You foul immediately.
Or at least that's your hope. Hofer going to try to break through. Brooks Jett going to fire it in to Kaiser and be fouled right away. So Kaiser did a great job of setting up weight and then flash to the basketball as he wanted it in his hands. Kaiser at the line today, just 1 of 2 at the free throw line, but he's got 25 points, so he's kind of had the hot hand for Aberdeen Christian.
25 points, 11 rebounds for Kaiser. He's had himself a nice ball game here today.
Misses the first. So the overtime chance stands. Viborg Hurley is going to have to rebound and then instant timeout, I would think. Unless it goes through, then what happens? Makes that one. And a timeout. So they'll have to set up a play to go the length of the floor and get a 3. You got 3 guys. Schroedermeyer, obviously, he hasn't shot the three much, but he can. Morrison and Austin are the two guys that Aberdeen Christian's got to know where they're at and don't let them have an open look.
Yeah, and you're just going to, if you're Viborg Hurley, you're looking to get the ball off the floor as quickly as you can. And you're going to be able to run the baseline, made free throw, so you're going to have the baseline to run. And
you get your choice on something like that, right? Yeah, so you get your choice on where you want to take it out on the baseline because it was on a make and you got the timeout. So they'll take it on the right as we look at it the left side, but the right side of the hoop with a right-handed thrower, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
is what they're looking at.
If you remember back yesterday, Viborg Hurley set up that play, was it before halftime, where Jake Austin caught it on the run and went the length of the court in about 3.5 seconds. So yeah, 5.9 right now is plenty of time for Viborg Hurley to get the ball off the floor and get a look they want. So
yeah, and you have to get it in. You don't have no timeouts if you're Viborg Hurley. Aberdeen Christian has 2 timeouts remaining. Here's the setup. Aberdeen Christian going to stay back.
You know, do they foul as soon as they cross half court? Viborg Hurley doesn't have another timeout to set something else up.
Aberdeen Christian's going to use it anyway. The chess match continues. Take a look at the setup. Good job by Viborg Hurley. Actually, they really didn't show much.
Yeah.
And Aberdeen Christian's kind of stuck. They got to call it because I'm sure they talked about it. We're going to wait and see what they do. We'll call the timeout, reset. But they're just wandering around. Viborg Hurley had 3 guys just kind of hanging out. Only person they really knew where they would be was the guy taking it out. 41% for the game shooting for Aberdeen Christian, 37 for Viborg Hurley. 71% at the free throw line for Viborg Hurley. Aberdeen Christian 33% at the line. Aberdeen Christian has controlled the boards 37-28. 5 block shots for the Knights. 22 turnovers total between these two teams. 13 for the Knights, 9 for Viborg Hurley.
Talked about Luke Kaiser, 26 points, 11 rebounds for Aberdeen Christian. Jake Austin leads Viborg Hurley with 20. Schroedermeyer 9 rebounds and 5 assists to go along with 16 points for him.
Now the setup. Schroedermeyer and Morrison. Now Austin will go to the opposite side. They ran him through yesterday. They'll throw Schroedermeyer deep. He'll catch it. They pitch it to Morrison, 3 for the tie. Just long. Oh my, all of that, and they had a chance. We're going to flip over to the cordless mic, guys. I'll try to catch Coach Rohrbach. Steve, your thoughts?
Great final look. I mean, great job by Schroedermeyer to run that one down in the corner and then not panic, because again, you had almost 5.9 seconds, so you had time, and they got a good look from Morrison in the corner and just couldn't knock it down.
There was just a lot going on that play at the end, wasn't there?
There was. And I think they got exactly what they wanted. It just wasn't necessarily clean passes all the way through it, but good look for Viborg Hurley there, and Aberdeen Christian, nice job this afternoon to come out. It looked like they had it in control and had it kind of in the bag for a while, and then Viborg Hurley made a great run there at the end of the third and into the fourth and made a ball game of it. And hats off to both those teams. You talk about a game like this, the 11 o'clock game in the afternoon after a matchup that didn't go your way last night, and way to come back and bring great energy.
Coach Rohrbach, congratulations. Wow, what a ball game. You guys got out quick like you have been, played well early, and then they fought back, but your kids never left composure.
Yeah, a lot of credit to them. They really had a great run there. Schroedermeyer's one heck of a player, and that dunk was crazy. I was proud of our boys, like you said. They kept their composure. It wasn't a perfect ball game, but they found a way to win.
Luke Kaiser just kind of put your team on his back tonight. I mean, what a ball game. Even late, he wanted the ball in his hands.
He was incredible. He was the main leader in the locker room, saying, "No, we're here to stay. We're here to play. It's a privilege of playing basketball." And he was incredible. What do you have, 27 or something like that? Yeah, proud of that kid. He's awesome.
Opportunity to play for a consolation championship means something to these kids.
Oh, 100%. We don't have a 5th or a 6th place banner, at our school right now. We have some 7th, and we didn't want another 7th or another 8th. So, yeah, 5th and 6th. sounds good to me, and I'm proud of these guys. I love this group.
Congratulations, Coach. A good win, and we'll talk tomorrow. You bet. Matt Rohrbach, head coach, Aberdeen Christian. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm on to her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
From Walks Arena, inside the Barnett Center, Brad DeVere with Steve Erickson, and we'll roll the highlight package from that second half. What a great second half, Steve, as the highlights roll. You can update us on stats and your thoughts.
Yeah, it's just a good game. I thought both teams, we talked about that 11 o'clock game, and teams maybe not coming out with the energy they want because they're upset or frustrated they didn't get the win yesterday, but I thought both teams brought great energy for an 11 o'clock game, and Aberdeen Christian, again, shot the ball well. They carried it in the second half, shooting a little bit better. Luke Kaiser was a dude all day, 26 points and 11 rebounding. You brought it up to Coach Rohrbach and said Luke was the one in the locker room that said, "Hey, we're here to play. It's an honor and a privilege, and let's go play." And he put the team on his back today and carried them to that one. And down the stretch, Loyal Smith Wade some big plays, 2 offensive rebound putbacks that when Viborg had it down to a 1 or 2 point game there, and then a big steal on the defensive end. So Aberdeen Christian just did what they needed to down the stretch. Viborg Hurley gets 20 points from Jake Austin to go along with 5 rebounds. Brady Schroedermeyer finishes with 16 and 10. Braden Morrison with 10. And Braden, 2 great looks down the stretch at 3 that probably, if you ask Braden, are ones that he knocks down more often than not, and just couldn't get him to fall down the stretch. But again, I thought great energy by both those teams, and looking forward to another one here.
As Aberdeen Christian prevails, 52-49. We'll step away, come back, and have a special package for you to show that we had some folks go out and have a little conversation with some people. We'll do that when we come back here on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
South Dakota Public Broadcasting, SDPB Sports, and SDPB.org, your home for South Dakota High School Activities Association Class B state basketball tournaments. The Kopel name needs little introduction amongst basketball fans in South Dakota. Ashlyn Kopel, who's now a senior for Wagner, continuing to add to her family's legacy. Earlier this season, SDPB took a trip to Wagner to spend a day with one of the best basketball players in the state.
The town of Wagner is located in southeast South Dakota, east of Lake Andes, west of Avon, and south of Armour. It's a nice town that is home to one of the most heavily recruited athletes we've seen in the state, Ashlyn Kopel.
It's always been one of my passions and something I've been wanting to be really good at. It's always been like a really big part of my life. My parents are both coaches, so I've kind of grown up in the gym, running the family with basketball, so yeah, it's all really special.
Ashlyn's aunt Mandy Kopel had a standout career in both high school at Wagner and collegiately at the University of South Dakota. But for Ashlyn, she's dedicated to creating her own unique legacy.
She's kind of always just pushed me. After I beat her scoring record, she sent me a text just like saying how proud of me she was, and yeah, she's just been like a really important person in my life growing up, so it's all been super cool to just kind of follow in her footsteps. I try to get here every morning, wake up at 6 and come shoot, and then yeah, I'm usually here until like 8, and I try to do that every morning. I mean, there's days where I sleep in or like we get home late so I don't come in, but yeah, I've put a lot of hours into this game, so it's just nice to see that it's all paid off. From November to March is kind of just all basketball. I mean, I wake up, go to the gym, and then I'll be in school and I'll be watching film if I don't have anything to do. Yeah, practice after school, usually watching like college games.
Ashlyn quickly rose to being one of the most sought-after young basketball players in the nation.
I think the recruiting process alone was like one of the hardest things I've been through, which sounds bad to say because there's a lot of people that like want to be in my situation. There's a lot to deal with at first. I mean, I was super excited, like loved the phone calls, loved texting the coaches, and just like soaking it all in. And then it started to get like more and more busy, and I felt like I was like constantly on the phone with people, dreading calls, like dreading going to visit schools. And it kind of just like consumed all my time, and I felt like I was like not enjoying my high school experience and just like being a kid. So I decided to just narrow it down, and that like really let the pressure off me, and things got a lot better then.
Once the list was narrowed, she made the decision to commit to the Cornhuskers.
I just really like their coaching staff, the way they play. Just like the campus, it's only 4 hours from here, so like when I want to come home, I'll be able to come home. My family will be able to make it to games. So, I mean, it was really a no-brainer to go to Nebraska.
Ashlyn's dad, Mike, is her high school head coach.
Yeah, that's an experience that I don't think is very common, so I try to soak it in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely days where like we butt heads or don't get along, but I think finding the right balance between Him being my coach and being my dad has been really important. And we've kind of found that more and more over the years. And yeah, I'm super excited to just play my last year with him being my coach and just soaking it all in.
I really don't think as a dad, you know, like when I have her, like I consider all my girls, I've always told them, you're all my kids. I want to treat you like a dad. I respect you and care for you guys all that way. Just as a coach, you know, you got to cut that separation. Like, yes, she's my own blood, but she's one of my players. And, you know, I hold her standards just as high as all the other kids' standards. Having your own kid too, going back when you're a dad plus the coach, I mean, I get after her just as much as I get after the other kids. And it's kind of a, by example, like, oh geez, he's after Ashlyn, like I better do what he's telling me to do, because he really does mean it, because it's not just, oh, she knows everything or she's better and she's more skilled. It's everybody's on the same cut. It doesn't matter if you're the top or the bottom link. It's we're coaching you all up, and you all have expectations and standards that you need to abide by.
Her mom, Tara, is an assistant coach for Wagner, who brings balance to the bench.
She's definitely like the one that can settle him down and just like the encourager on the team, and then he's the one that's kind of like the more aggressive one. But yeah, they balance each other out well and usually figure it out, so.
She also had told me once she doesn't like that she's just known for basketball. And I said, what do you want your legacy to be, whatever it is? She goes, I just want people to know that I have these talents because of God. God gave me these talents, and I want to give him the glory that he deserves because of that. I can see her really trying to rise up to that during college and just hanging on to that a little bit tighter.
Ask the Copels and they'll tell you. They love Wagner, and they think it's a place that everyone can enjoy.
You know, there's a lot of people around the state like, oh, Wagner's from a reservation. You know, I just wish they could come and spend a few weeks here at our school, because it doesn't matter the color of our skin. All these kids are willing to give the clothes off their back and do whatever it takes to make it better.
Just here for the kids and here to make it a great experience for them, or try to get them to enjoy it and find some passion for it and keep going.
There's a lot of communities like ours that just like love their teams, love their community, and just support in any way they can. And I feel like that's how Wagner is. I feel like everyone here just knows everyone, so that's like a big help. And I just have a lot of family here too. So yeah, it's just been all really cool to be a part of.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
The story of Leopold and Loeb is the story of the original crime of the century.
These two privileged boys killed another boy from within their community, and we have no reasonable explanation for it.
They're going to create the perfect crime. It's fun for them.
Deadly Alliance, Leopold and Loeb, on American Stories.
tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Locks Arena in Aberdeen. I'm Brad DeBeer. It's DeSmit versus Sully Buttes. Right now, you're 3 and you're 7. Here's a look at team profiles out of Kingsbury County. DeSmit Bulldogs, Jeff Grunhagen. Maroon and gold is 70. The enrollment, how'd they get to this point? Well, they beat Iroquois Lake Preston, Dubrook, Ipswich, and then lost to Wall last night in a dandy of a game. They'll start this way. Noah Luthmer, Slayton Wilkinson, Colby Sinclair, Grant, and Carter Wilkinson. Their opponent, Sully Buttes, the Chargers, out of Oneida. We'll talk about the rest when we return here. Here's Ken Hansen.
The City of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activity Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the second game of the third session of the State B-Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Today's game will feature the designated visitors, DeSmet Bulldogs, and the Sully Buttes Chargers. Let's meet the officials for today's game. First, our junior officials. From Sully Buttes, James Rambler. And from DeSmet, Tyler Albright. Officials for today's game, Brent Dirk, Josh Maud, and Kevin Ball. The alternate official is Scott Sonny. Let's meet our starters. First, for the Bulldogs, at a guard, 6'3", junior number 1, Noah Luthers. And for the Chargers on the wing, 6'3", freshman number 3, Easton Moore. At a guard for DeSmet, 6'2", senior number 2, Slayton Wilkinson. For the Chargers, 5'8", sophomore, number 10, Jet Yackley. At a guard for the Bulldogs, 5'9", senior, number 11, Colby Sinclair. At a guard for the Chargers, 6'1", senior, as of yesterday, the all-time leading scorer for Sully Buttes High School, number 15, Wesley Wedler. In the middle for DeSmet, 6'10", senior, number 34, Grant Wilkinson. At a guard for the Chargers, 5'10", senior, number 20, Gavin Colson. At a forward for DeSmet, 6'6", junior, number 45, Carter Wilkinson. And in the middle for Sully Buttes, 6'2", senior, number 44, James Miles. The Bulldogs are coached by Daniel Batide, and head coach is Jeff Grunhagen. Coaches for Sully Buttes are Jesse Whittler, Scott Sefter. The head coach of the Sully Buttes Chargers is Brian White. Your starters were brought to you today by Channel C. Bulldog fans, are you ready? Chargers fans, are you ready? Fan sections were brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
ready to tip it up in our second consolation semifinal. The D. Smith Bulldogs and the Sully Buttes Chargers. And again, you heard Wesley Whitler becoming the all-time leading scorer in Charger history. We spoke yesterday, Ron, we were talking about Jet Hyde and Blake Hyde being his dad, and then we said he broke Blake Yackley.
Still got it wrong.
Yeah, still got it wrong. Broke Blake Yackley's record. It was Blake Hyde who had the scoring record. So let's get that correct. Give Blake Hyde his due. Because he was good.
Yeah.
That boy could fill it up. The Smith takeaway right away. Sinclair tries to throw it inside to Grant Wilkinson, and Whitler takes it away. Whitler going to be guarded in the man-to-man by Slayton Wilkinson. Yackley now. Give up Colson, back to Whitler. Whitler penetrate, floater over the big fella. Ball gets loose way out to the perimeter. New shot clock, Yackley. Give to Colson, down the lane. Colson will float this one up and over. And Colson, Gavin Colson gets the first bucket.
Colson had 10 last night for Sully Buttes. Getting it started for him this afternoon.
Luthmers taken away by Carter Wilkinson. Yackley diving, losing it. They'll fire it up to Whitler. He'll have that blocked by Carter Wilkinson. And then hand off or give back to Luthmers. Colby Sinclair at the top. Runner in the paint, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Grant Wilkinson up, foul, no good. As Wilkinson will go to the free throw line right away, and a foul will be called inside on number 44, James Miles.
If you weren't able to watch last night's game, Grant Wilkinson, the 6'10 senior there, 40 points. 19 rebounds, it says, but like we talked about at the end of the game, I think they shorted it in that one. So
I think so too.
A 40-20 game for Grant last night.
Yeah, they tried to fire up a shot, obviously missed and hit the rim. Grant chased it down the corner, so a long rebound, but a rebound nonetheless. And it was the way the game ended as he couldn't get the shot off in time. 2-1 our score as Grant Wilkinson makes good on 1 of 2 free throws. Whitler guarded by Wilkinson, man-to-man for DeSmit. Miles will set the screen. Down inside, Whitler on the baseline, up, no good. Rebound taken out on the loose ball by Slayton Wilkinson. Slayton will bring it across the timeline. This is the tough game. These guys played late last night. I mean, not late, but the late game. Now have to play again at 12:45 or whatever time it is in the day, 12:58.
And both of those games last night, high energy, high intensity. And neither one of these teams plays a ton of kids off the bench either. So see how their legs respond here this afternoon.
And legs are one thing, but even the emotional response because of how that game finished. Had chances, and like you talked about earlier, that team had a chance to move on to the state semis and missed it by 1 basket. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So how do you respond? Right now, tie ball game. Wilkinson ready. His second on the way, and no good. Rebound, chased and saved by Colson. Whitler will pull the 3. No good. Rebound, Carter Wilkinson. Luthmers could be the guy today that needs to give a little support offensively.
I know had 11 last night, but not a bad game from Noah last night.
Right in the season average.
But he could tell his focal point we talked about last night. Hancock from Wall just did a great job defending him too.
Foul called on Colby Sinclair. That's I think more of a frustration foul than anything. Just happened at half court. He missed that shot inside. Tries to chase down the ball and picks up his first personal. So in contrast to our opening game here this afternoon, this one a little bit slow starting offensively. Whitler, reverse pivot, kick out. 3 on the way by Moore, no good. Rebound, tipped around. Luthmers tipped that to Wilkinson.
He knew there was no way he's getting 2 hands on it, but he's like, yeah, you got another.
Tip it to the 6'10 guy.
Got the big fella. I'll just tip it back up in the air again.
Luthmers to Sinclair. Sinclair gives to Carter Wilkinson. Carter. He'll kick out Sinclair. Step through bodies, up off the glass, and good. Colby Sinclair with the first field goal of the game for DeSmit. And bump. Carter Wilkinson bodies him up, and Carter's going to pick up his first personal. We'll have our media timeout if they see it. And the media timeout comes with 4:44 to play. DeSmit 4, Sully Buttes 2. Back with more on SDPB.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Wax Arena and the Barnett Center, the site of the 2026 Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament, as it is year after year after year after year, and hopefully we'll stay here forever and ever and ever, because it is an unbelievable atmosphere even on our second day. Really good crowd here in the afternoon session.
Doesn't disappoint. People turn out. Like you said, it's more than just the fans of each of those towns. It's people from all over.
I ran into a gentleman. He's still sitting here. He comes every year. He's sitting over there in the middle section, but since 1970 he's been to every state tournament here, Class B tournament, you know, and he said he's just always goes to the B's, and obviously now it's here, so he comes to Aberdeen all the time. He wants our job holding up the timeout card. That's it. That's all he wants to do. Him and his brother started doing it when his brother graduated high school, an older gentleman. The takeaway out of the timeout. Sully Buttes on the run now. Out top. Yackley for three, no. Rebound, Moore takes it away from Wilkinson, then throws it off of Wilkinson out of bounds.
Easton Moore, again, didn't necessarily fill up the stat sheet last night, but felt like just did a really good job for Sully Buttes. And you look at what he put up, you know, just 2 points and ended up fouling out, but 4 rebounds. But it felt like he had such an impact on what Sully Buttes did last night.
Whitler in and out, no good. Grant Wilkinson ripped that ball away. He felt like he had somebody hanging on his arm as he took it away. He'll get inside against Falkenberg now, or Falkenhagen, excuse me. Slayton Wilkinson. And he fouled inside by Easton Moore. First personal on Moore, DeSmit basketball. Wilkinson. Just throw it to Grant Wilkinson. Luthmer's into Grant. Luthmer's for three. No. Easton Moore with the rebound will push to Whitler. Whitler down the lane against Wilkinson, and Wilkinson will foul. Wilkinson thinks he's straight up and down, but his whole upper body's leaning with his arms out, and a technical foul going to be called against Slayton Wilkinson. So the referees get together to make sure they heard what they heard.
Just how you report it too, because you report the foul, then the technical foul,
so that's going to be
and how you're going to shoot them here too.
And he'll get them both. So they'll count as 2 personals. Slayton will have the personal foul, then the technical foul counts as a personal. So he's got 2 now all of a sudden, and Whitler misses the first of what he's going to get 4 free throws here. Makes the second, then they're going to bring Yackley in to shoot the actual technical fouls now.
And that's a big foul and then the second one on Slayton, because they had him guarding Wesley Whitler. So that might have to change what DeSmith's going to do defensively. Not necessarily, would venture to guess they're going to stick with their man-to-man, but who's guarding who now, and who's going to draw Whitler maybe a little bit.
I would say Luthmers. I was just going to say that's probably the guy you go to, don't you? He's athletic enough. Well, and it looks to me like a concerted effort by the officials in some conversations maybe in their meetings to stop the chit-chat after foul calls. They're not going to put up with it. So, again, go play. It's going to happen. This is, you know, it's state tournament time, so you don't get to act out.
And it's the,
we've seen one in each game now.
Maybe a little bit of frustration from Slayton on the foul and didn't think he did, but it's, like you said, it's just got to be a play on. And
good look underneath. Then Regenmorter from Carter Wilkinson.
Good look from Carter there. Great pass on the backside.
Coy played a lot of minutes yesterday, too, in that second half. They needed to with some foul trouble and played well. There's a foul. Foul whistled against Noah Luthmers, his first. Whitler so good at drawing contact.
We mentioned it over and over. It's just kind of that stop and go, or that start, that hesitation he's got, and his ability to handle the basketball too lets him get in and out of some tight spaces to get around guys and through guys. And
Whitler will make good on the first. Now another one. He's 3 of 4, or he's 2 of 3, I should say, at the free throw line. Now he's 3 for 4. Slayton Wilkinson comes back in. Lob, Grant, triple team. From the baseline, no, rebound taken out of there by Falkenhagen. Yeah, they will keep it. Did he touch it? They'll say Van Regenmorter last to touch it.
Van Regenmorter thought that too. He pointed and kind of gave the, you sure look, and
Coulson, Whitler for 3. No, left it short. The all-time leading scorer now in Sully Butte's basketball history has this game and tomorrow to add to his total, and that will do it as he'll go on and play some football at Northwestern College. Look to play quarterback there in Orange City, Iowa. Wilkinson 3, short, rebound. Moore, push out, Whitler on the run. Whitler now down the right side of the lane, too strong, rebound. Coy Van Regenmorter will bring it up. Carter Wilkinson, Van Regenmorter. Wilkinson inside, up off the glass, and Big Grant just bodies his way in. A little bully move that way.
Great position defensively from Sully Buttes too, from Falkenhagen, but Grant just, his footwork and touch around the basket's impressive.
Wilkinson will take it away. Slayton hands off to Luthmers. Luthmers now will get everything set. Grant Wilkinson way out high. 3 on the way. Carter Wilkinson, and Carter struggled last night, but he opens up his 1 of 2 from the three-point line here this afternoon. And the Bulldogs lead 11-7.
A good sign for the Bulldog team and fans there, seeing Carter knock one down. Rough night last night. He said everyone he shot last night we thought looked like it had a chance, but just couldn't get one to fall.
Jed Yackley answers with the 3 for Sully Buttes. 11-10, under 30 to play in the quarter. Luthmers give to Van Regenmorter. They'll weave a little bit out top. Wilkinson, Carter to Slayton, and tried to get it inside to Grant, tipped away. Whitler It's a screen down to 2-1. Moore pull up, floats one from the baseline. Sully Buttes takes the lead at the corner as the freshman, here it is again, watch this move, pump, little floater, nothing but the bottom of the net. Easton Moore, we'll take a break, we're back with more on SD.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Northern State University, the gracious host here in Aberdeen. Aberdeen Central High School, we should give them a shout too. Retiring activities director Dawn Seiler at Aberdeen Central done such a great job. She'll be replaced next year by Bo Beck. Got a chance to talk to Bo earlier. He is excited. He said, I'll be honest with you, he said, I told him congratulations. He said, dream job for me. He said, I've wanted that for a long time since he's been at Eureka. He said, and then he came here, and when what's his name left? Brownell.
Yeah, Gene
Brownell. It went to, of course, Dawn, and he said he's just waiting my turn, and he's happy to be able to be doing it. So he'll start that next year. Said he's reffed and coached in this state tournament 9 times between the two. Now he gets to run it. He said he's living his best life.
He's got a lot to live up to. They do a great job here in Aberdeen and the Aberdeen Central folks. Like you said, it was Gene Brownell before and Dawn Seiler, and their staff just is tremendous.
Turnover on Slayton Wilkinson, gives it back to Sully Buttes. Yackley gives to Whitler. Whitler against Slayton Wilkinson. Whitler down the lane, going to be a foul on Carter Wilkinson. He reached in on the slap. So Carter Wilkinson will pick up his second foul. Long three on the way, short rebound, Carter Wilkinson. Luthmers now will control. Give a shout, Ace is probably watching today somewhere. Back home, couldn't make the trip up, so he was watching, sending us some notes yesterday. Ace, hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Last touch by
right at Vilhauer again.
Vilhauer, you're like a magnet over there. The guy's always in front. Somebody wants to run him over. Did you write something bad about him or what? Everybody wants to meet Dave Vilhauer. They just figure out ways to do it. That's how it goes. Luthmer's top of the key. On a 15 on the shot clock. Slayton Wilkinson going to be tripped or pushed. Jet Yackley will pick up the foul. You'll see Wilkinson. There's the grab on Jet Yackley, reaching in, trying to tip that away and grab the wrist.
We talked a little bit last night too about Slayton's ability to just drive it to the rim, and good look, good find right there. He finds Van Regenmorter for the layup off the inbounds pass.
Yeah,
but
Coy doing a good job.
Slayton does a good job of getting to the basket and finishing shots, or either, like we said last night, just throwing it up to his big guys. And
foul going to be called on Falkenhagen. his first personal. Colby Sinclair comes back for Slayton Wilkinson. Slayton will come out after trying to guard Whitler all over the floor. The dump down, a little hot from Colby Sinclair.
And Grant's like, just throw it up in the air. Don't throw it down where they're at.
Inside the bucket by Whitler.
Almost looked like he got tied up before he was able to get that up to the rim and finish.
When you talked about that yesterday, he looks like a long, slender, thin kid, but he's a lot stronger than he looks.
Yeah.
Noah Ruthmersh for three. His first basket of the game, and the X Factor hits a bucket. Yackley over Wilkinson, and they're going to call. Wilkinson's like, he pushed off me. Here you'll see it. See if he's right. Lands. Gotta let him land. Yeah, gotta let him land. Yes, he did push his hands out, but I would too if a 6'10", 280-plus pound human was coming at me, right?
Yeah.
You put your hands out, just a whoa, big fella. Just the first foul on Grant. First free throw good. Yackley has 6 points in the game. Check that. Yeah, 6 points. He'll ready for the second, and that one's up and good. So Jet Yackley with 6, and it's 16-16. Carter Wilkinson off the handoff from Grant. Slayton now. Wilkinson to Carter Wilkinson. Loses the handle. Gets it back. Noah Luthmers. Waited, baited the defense, and then found Van Riggimore. That's a great job by Noah Luthmers.
They hit that same look a little bit earlier. Carter Wilkinson had hit that pass, and just the kind of to pick your poison of how you're going to try to guard Grant Wilkinson. That's the Grant Wilkinson effect right there. Is Van Regenmotor's wide open because of the attention that you have to give to the big guy.
Whitler 25 feet away, drop it in, it's good.
With the hand in his face, Slayton Wilkinson, that was good defense too. And
what else are you supposed to do, right?
Slayton has his hand up and just kind of looks at him and shakes his head.
Luthmer's pull up, no good at the free throw line. Last touch, oh, saved at the baseline. Wilkinson not able to get a lot of touches early on here. That kind of happened last night too, and in the second half they just decided it doesn't matter, we're throwing it to him. Van Riggimore, that's going to be a block. They're going to say Easton Moore slid under.
Slid in just a little bit, but
the Easton second. Here you'll see it. Going to get the media timeout on the replay. Oh, yeah. Maybe leaned a little. Take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Out of the media timeout, we're going to have some free throws as a blocking foul called on Easton Moore. Here you'll see it again. Coy Van Regenmorter on the wing. That left leg just still a little in the air.
Kind of trying to gather himself to get ready to take it a little bit. But
well, and that's a 50-50 one, I think, right there, too. You make the charge call, DeSmith's mad. You make the block call, Sully Butte's mad. You're never right in that situation. It was that close, bang, bang.
Yeah.
How are the other games coming in Rapid City? They underway?
Yeah,
second round?
Yep, nope, they're underway there. The AA kind of played the seeds last night. The top four all won yesterday, but first game out there this afternoon, T Area's leading Watertown 51-41 going into the fourth. Same with Class A, the top four all won there last night. And got a good one going. The first one out there, 64-63. St. Thomas More is leading Groton. Just a couple minutes left in that one.
Groton playing another close one. Then Regenmorter picks up the foul. His first personal after missing 2 free throws.
Yeah, that Class A tournament, the 3 games were kind of got out of hand a little bit yesterday, except the Groton-Hamlin game was a 1-possession game down the stretch, and Hamlin knocked some free throws down to pull that one out.
I think everybody's just sitting around waiting for Sioux Falls Christian West Central. A couple teams will have something to say about that, but
and then you got Clark, Willow Lake, and Hamlin sitting around waiting, and hey, don't forget about us.
Yeah.
So
NEC battle in the the NEC championship tonight.
Yeah, so
we'll keep an eye on that later. Right now here in Aberdeen, it's 19-18. Sully Butte, Silver D. Smith. Carter Wilkinson. Throw it inside. Grant Wilkinson has it ripped away. Grant's getting tired. The big fella has had to work for 2 days, a game and a half. Whitler at the other end. 7.25 for Whitler. It's 21-18. And again, DeSmith doesn't get rattled. We saw that yesterday. Yeah, they're down now. Sully Butte's on a little run. They'll settle in. He thought about it. The big fella wanted to knock one down.
It's like I finally get to shoot a shot when nobody's laying on me, but
that time up and over off the glass, and then that sweet touch. It's a tough shot off the glass. Whitler, 24 feet away, in and out, no good rebound. Grant Wilkinson. Oh, Luthmers will bring it up. Luthmers. Good job by Luthmers to just draw a little contact, able to get a shot up. Brian White thought that the foul happened about 28 feet away from the basket, but they're going to say no, the basket or the foul happened in farther.
And Josh Mogg saying no, you pick the ball up on the gather. And
number 20 has 2 fouls. That's Gavin Coulson. 21-21, our score as Luthmers makes the first. Brian White having a little discussion over there with Josh Mogg, though he still disagrees with how that was called. Luthmers good on the second. Easton Moore will come back in. Out will go number 24, Bretton Barber, who had checked in, a 5'8" freshman. Jet Yackley getting instruction from Coach White. Moore turning around a little jump hook. A little too far out for that jump hook maybe, but just couldn't get a good jumper off.
And part of that, I think, on the length of DeSmith too. It's not a. Easton's got long arms, long reach too, so it's.
Wilkinson with the catch and the gather and finishes inside. Get 3 bodies around him the whole time. It's new meaning to triangle and 2 right there. All right, you 3 guys are going to guard this guy. You 2, you got to guard the other 4. Work hard. Go get him. Crossover, Moore, kick out top. Coulson. To Yackley. Yackley hesitation dribble. 8 on the shot clock, 7. Down to 5, Whitler in the lane, loses the handle, gets it off, and gets it up before the shot clock, but misses. 24-21 DeSmith by 3 now.
Wesley just frustrated with himself, still talking to himself about how did I miss that.
6-0 run, that's a travel. 6-0 run for DeSmet over the last minute 36. They're 5 of their last 7 possessions, they've made a basket. And on the other end, 1 of their last 7 is Sully Buttes. A drought of about 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
And Sully Buttes just shooting 6 of 27 from the field overall for 22% on the game, but 7 of 8 from the free throw line to kind of keep themselves in this one yet.
Just short of 10 seconds difference, shot clock to game clock. Under 30 to play, or under 20, or under 30 to play, 20 on the shot. Yeah, little wait. Now get a screen. Whitler with 7 on the shot clock. Pull up, college line, no good. Rebound Luthmers with 12 seconds to go. Luthmers, top of the key, swing it. Van Regenmoor inside. Wilkinson shot it a little quick. He thought there was less time left on the clock. Whitler for 3, no.
Yeah, a little bit more time on that one.
Is dog tired right now. The big fella's just, I mean, he has just been laid on in 2 games, man. Oh, let's take a break. We'll come back, recap this first half. It's 24-21, DeSmet at halftime. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Halftime in Aberdeen, Walks Arena, the Barnett Center. Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson, and a good first half. A little bit of everything kind of happened in that first half. Both teams went on some runs. Both teams had a couple droughts, and in the end, 24-21, DeSmet leads by 3.
Yeah, tight ball game, and Sully Buttes done a nice job of, I won't say limiting Grant, but kind of trying to limit against touches a little bit with the big guy underneath. And he's got 8 points and 10 rebounds right now, but for DeSmet. But they've had some other guys step up. Luthmers with 5, Van Regenmoor with 6, Carter Wilkinson hit that big 3. So those are the things DeSmet needs to continue to do offensively to take some of that pressure off of Grant a little bit. On the other side, Sully Buttes led by, again, of course, Wesley Whitler with 10 points. Added 3 rebounds. Easton Moore, again, not filling up the stat sheet, but 2 points and 4 rebounds, but seems like he's all over the place. And Jet Yackley kind of got himself going there a little bit offensively, too, with 7 points here at the half for Sully Buttes.
Yeah, and you talked about, I think the biggest 6 points of the game right now are what they got from Koy Van Regenmotor off the bench, because last night he came and played well. Wasn't much of an offensive threat, but again, credit the other guys to get him a couple buckets. He's been able to get open, but the one, especially Luthmer's, just kind of baited everybody, kind of waited, and just knew where he was at.
Just, yeah, and everybody knows where it's going, right? It's going to 34. It's going to, so there's no, kind of double, triple pump fakes that to him. It just gets the guys to cheat over a step further, and then Luthmer's ability to thread the needle on that pass to Van Regenmotor and with the finish was good. But like you said, Van Regenmotor's taken 4 shots already. That might be like a game high for him, throughout the season. But when those opportunities are there, those guys need to capitalize and take advantage of them, and so far today they've done that.
Yeah, it's been a good start for the day. Of course, Aberdeen Christian defeated Viborg Hurley earlier today, so Viborg Hurley will play tomorrow 11 a.m. Aberdeen Christian will await the winner of this one for a consolation championship tomorrow about 12:45. Of course, we've got a lot of basketball left to go here today with our championship semifinals. Set that up here a little bit later tonight, 5 p.m. Central Time. Lyman and Castlewood, the 8 and the 5. So both upsets number-wise. Again, on the top half and then the bottom half of the bracket. Number 2 seed Freeman Flyers looked so good last night for a little while. And then a good run by this Sully Buttes team. Kind of tighten it. That game, the biggest gap of any game so far, 8 points, the difference in that game. And you and I know all the fans that are coming for all the games have just been talking about that for this tournament. I hope they're all like that. Everybody's talking about, geez, it'd be great if those were all this close.
Yeah, and I think you've seen good basketball from all the teams, and it's been fun to see too the different styles of play and how teams have to mix up and kind of try to play their style or their tempo against certain ones. And you've seen it last night with Wall DeSmet game. You're seeing it today again with Sully Buttes and DeSmet. Just the ways you have to change things as coaches to try to take away things the other team is trying to do and yet still play your style and your tempo is what I think is important too.
Take one more break, come back, get you set and ready for our second half. You're watching Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament action inside Wax Arena on SD.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Back at Wax Arena in Aberdeen, 24-21 at halftime. Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson, and again, just what a fun atmosphere to watch. See different people from different schools, and whether it's adults or the kids or whatever, students from different places that come around, just be a part of the whole weekend. I know a lot of schools maybe are on kind of a spring break, I know at Dubrook we take off the Friday of the girls tournament and the Friday of the boys tournament as our spring break, just to kind of let kids go, and in the hopes that our own school would be there, obviously in different years, but kind of fun to see them all come out and just be a part of it.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's kind of the mecca or the place that people want to be. They get circled on their calendar every year, and then the games that have topped it off this weekend with what we've seen so far. So hopefully it continues.
Well, if you get a shot, if you guys can go to our camera, move your water bottle a second. I'm going to slide over. I don't know if you throw that camera that's on us real quick, Christian. I'm not sure we can get the guy. See the guy in the flannel right there behind me? He's going to be so mad at us. From Marion, but they've been here 6 straight years now. Hey, Marion guys, wave at the camera. He's not even listening. Look at him back there. Anyway, he came over and talked to us. We said, well, we'll get you on camera, Louis. He said, no, they already texted me yesterday. I was on all the time. So anyway, guys out of Marion come just to be here. And he talked about it too. He said, you know, they co-op with Freeman, obviously, for some football. So know some of the kids, but for the last 6 years, they've been coming and they've been sitting right there. That's their spot.
Been in that spot, yep.
Yeah. They're saving
seats, and yeah, so.
It was great. You better get here early tonight, too, by the way. If you're planning on coming up to Aberdeen, don't leave at 4 to come running in here as the game tips off. You'll be sitting in the high corners of this place, so
which isn't a bad seat though either.
True, so. It's still a good view, but if you want to be close to the action, get here early. Luthmers, Wilkinson, and Sinclair. That was easy. Slayton, Carter, and Grant, the Wilkinson
Those 3 all
boys.
cousins, too.
Yeah, all cousins, none of them brothers. Nate, the little brother, if you will, 6'5" 8th grader, the younger brother of Grant. And older brother Damon, I see, is in the building again. He's front row right behind Coach Kroonhagen again, over there on the bench. Or he was. Is that him again? Is he still there?
Yep, Damon's over there.
Okay, got the hat on.
Bunch of former players in that front row over there from the Bulldogs.
Bulldog Nation pretty proud of what they have for sure. Sully Buttes on the other side, same way. Proud tradition of basketball. Carter Wilkinson, no good on the shot. Whitler will rebound.
Gets set for DeSmit coming out to try to get Carter maybe going a little bit.
Moore flips it out to Colson. Jet Yackley for 3, too strong. No, got it. Jet Yackley just lets one fly.
Jet did most of his damage in the second half last night too, so we'll see if that's kind of his MO to take over here a little bit too.
And he had 7 in the first half, so pretty good start that way even. Slayton Wilkinson out top against Moore. Flip it to Colby Sinclair. Colby now. Throw it up into Grant. Wilkinson up off the glass. A foul going to be called against Sully Buttes. Kevin Ball says that's on number 32, Cooper Falkenhagen. Cooper started the second half in place of James Miles. Otherwise, Easton Moore, Jet Yackley, Wesley Whitler, and Gavin Colson, the other starters. Wilkinson 1 for 2 this trip. Whitler will bring it across. Pull up from the free throw line. No good. Rebound, Slayton Wilkinson. 1-point lead for the Bulldogs. The Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, the women leading Washington 13-3 to open things up in their NCAA tournament down in Fort Worth, Texas. The miss for Wilkinson. Whitler off and running quickly the other way up off the glass and good. Wesley Whitler can get from end to end real fast, and he can finish. Luthmer's no good. Rebound. Wilkinson, he'll be fouled.
Big step through from Whitler, or from Luthmer's.
That was a good move. He's so athletic.
And again, kind of similar build to Whitler, and we talked about it. They don't look super you know, physical or anything like that, but they can both absorb that contact and play through it. And really good players to watch.
Offensive foul going to be called. Kevin Ball says, Kate, you guys got to move out of the way so I can make the call. You're going to call that on Wilkinson.
Of course, Kevin Ball happens right in front of the D. Smith bench and crowd.
Yeah, of course.
Carter's third.
Whitler. Kick out, Easton Moore three. Got it! Easton Moore, 5 points in the game. His first three of the second half. 29-25, and now a call at the other end, a hold on number 44, James Miles. And it's just, Falkenhagen and Miles are just like, how are we just trying to hold this big fella?
Well, they're not small gentlemen themselves
but they
either.
don't look anything. I mean, they're 6'2", 6'4". And the three for Sinclair. Kobe Sinclair knocks down the three, and all of a sudden it's back to one. Whitler on the baseline, flip it out top. Yackley down the lane, kick out. Moore, same spot as the last one. Three, got it! Easton Moore has found his spot. It's 21 feet away on the right wing.
And you've seen it both teams too, whether it's Sinclair, Van Regenmotor, Lukemers a little bit.
Wilkinson no good on the three-point attempt.
Yackley, Easton Moore. It's those second and third options that are starting to make a little bit of a difference.
What a shot by Wesley Whitler. Look at this bump, high off the glass. Right now, 4:40 to play. We get that media. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
From Wax Arena on the campus of Northern State University. We will be ready to play ball when we come out of the timeout here. We actually need the teams back, so we're good to go. The free throw will happen off the made crazy runner to the baseline by Whitler. His older sister, Stevie, I want to say that one, so Stevie played for the girls team a couple years ago, was a great player and moved on to college.
Phenomenal hurdler and stuff in track too, so.
Yeah, kind of a
Whitler makes that. Yeah, Whitler makes that runner with that high off the glass, and he's missed probably 3 or 4 different layups that have just been. You see him talking to himself, frustrated, like how you can make that one, but not some of those others.
Just such a good touch. That's what I said. The way he gets to the basket and then can have the touch off the glass. There's a foul on Moore before the catch and shot, laying on the back of Carter Wilkinson. Easton will pick up his third. Interesting that they stay behind him in that situation with the big fella up top or at the free throw line rather than fronting him. But
well, I think Easton's got enough length too. If you know, a Carter like that, it's when he tried to come around and knock that ball away.
Yep.
If you just let him catch and make him make a post move and shoot over top of you, which is maybe what Coach White's telling him to do, but he
got a little antsy. Here's a three by Whitler, showing his versatility.
Slayton Wilkinson, really good defense again, a hand in his face, and he's just shaking his head.
And again, in those situations, the only other way to do it is just to not let him catch it at all.
A little high-low look from DeSmit. Carter to Grant.
Bodies hit the floor on this missed shot. The rebound coming. Kind of partially blocked from behind there by Easton Moore. In for Sully Buttes. Be number 24, Breton Barber. Wilkinson to trigger. And a hold to be called on the defense. Got 2 shots, I think, got 5 fouls on Sully Buttes. Foul called on Barber. Carter Wilkinson at the free throw line. First one no good. First time Carter's been at the free throw line today. I don't know if he was here at the free throw line yesterday, though. I don't think he got to the free throw line. Second one up and no good. Whitler comes out of there with the basketball, guarded by Slayton Wilkinson.
Oh, Jet was maybe gonna look at that one.
Barber back to Whitler. Whitler one-on-one. Tries to back him up. Now he'll get a look. 3 on the way. No, off the front iron. Chased. There's a push. Oh, they're going to call a foul?
Oh,
they just say last touch.
Kind of blocked out.
Yeah, he's just kind of holding
Josh
the reach for it. Yeah. And he's actually reaching. You just kind of hold him off, but it did look like a pushing live action. Falkenhagen, who has 3 fouls, and Miles also with 3 fouls, just switching with each other. Falkenhagen comes back in as Miles goes to the bench. He's tired of the boy.
Yeah.
Over the outstretched arms of Wilkinson. And Wilkinson asking for it again.
Kind of the reverse. They bring Grant to the high post that time and post up Carter, but just unable to complete the connection.
Whitler crossover, almost got tripped up by his own man. Fetal position for Carter Wilkinson. He'll just corral it. The Smith fans don't want it to be a jump. Nobody's calling timeout. What do you want it to be? Can't lay there for that long. Somebody grab the ball, right?
5 second countdown, right?
Okay, well, Whitler up and in.
How he made it through there. Grant kind of tried to. Maybe a little bit of a hip check, but Whitler slides through there to get the finish.
A little shapeshifter is Whitler. Grant Wilkinson swing it. Carter gets a screen, loses the handle. We're gonna have a foul called. I think that's gonna be on Barber. And Wilkinson to shoot. It is a foul on Breton Barber.
Wilkinson will go to the line looking to end a 10-0 run here by Sully Buttes and 15-3 run over the last four plus minutes here.
I'm tell you right now, that's a great piece of officiating. There might have been a little bit of perspiration on the floor, obviously, but the crowds were kind of getting a little antsy, not liking the call. And Kevin Ball just says, come on out here with that sweeper. Let's just wipe up the floor. And the place goes quiet. That's brilliant by Kevin Ball right there. Usually that happens to me, and I'm the only one still yelling in the gym on the sidelines, so that's the problem.
Still asking about that one call that happened on the other end.
Carter Wilkinson, second free throw. Got it. So 1 for 4 in 2 trips to the line for Carter Wilkinson, as Barber picked up his second. 2:25 to play in the third. Sully Buttes by 10 all of a sudden. Wesley Whitler has kind of started to put on an offensive show yet again. Colson down the lane. Give it to Whitler on the move. Yackley. Colson for 3. Over Grant Wilkinson. No. Tipped around. Preston Barber comes away with it.
Good hustle play by Barber, but Van Regan, Mortar, and Slayton Wilkinson had the rebound and then kind of ran into each other, and so jarred it free for
Whitler. So quick, blocked, and saved by Wilkinson. Look out, right into our camera. Good save by the big fella.
I think his foot was on the line.
I meant the cameraman, by the way, not Grant. Yeah, I think
great play by Grant, but yeah, I think his foot was on the line when he...
the earthquake coming. Well done down there, my friend. Kevin Ball's over there talking to the table. They're trying to figure something out. So we have to redo the inbound.
I think maybe talking shot clock there.
Yeah.
Because Grant never had possession, so it shouldn't reset. So that's why you see that at 16 minutes.
Still plenty of time. Colson looking for Whitler. Back door on the bounce. Whitler. Kick out. Yackley with 6. 5. Long 3 straight on. No good. Too short. Rebound. Chased and saved. And a timeout given and granted to Sully Buttes. On the great hustle by James Miles, the big fella. 32nd timeout here with 1:26 to play in the third. Little brother comes all the way out to shake Big Brother's hand. That was Nate going all the way out to shake Grant's hand and get him back to the huddle. I think, was that Nate or was that Wink that came out there?
Nate came to half court, I know for sure.
Yeah, that was great. 1:26 to play. .26 to play in the third. 39-29. Again, one of the biggest deficits of the game, or point differentials in the game. What have we had? Has the biggest lead in 6 games so far been 15 points between somebody or 14? Yesterday we had that. And then they got it back 24-9, right? That was the one score yesterday, I think, that started.
The Smith-Wall game.
Yeah, Wall was up 24-9. And of course, the Smith battled back.
Yeah, there was, I don't think, maybe 10 or 11 was it. But
yeah, so I was talking with Jo Alton earlier about yesterday's game, and she said the same thing. She's like, man, this is a fun way to make the system work when the games look like that. Offensive moving screen on Bretton Barber. Again, Barber, did you stand still, or ball handler, did you not rub shoulders? Again, you got to get tight. Don't let that guy move.
We talk about that a lot too. It's like that's not on the ball handler, or necessarily the screener.
No.
It's we got to do a better job of coming off the screens and stuff, and that's kind of got caught there too.
Three, no good. And on the baseline, Lutner's dribbled it out, or had his foot on the baseline, one of the two. And you'll see it right there. Good call. Josh Mogg right on it, that left heel right on the baseline. Little debris on the floor over there. Got it picked up. We're good to go. Yackley will bring it across the timeline. Whitler, Yackley, Easton Moore. 3 short, off of Moore's hands, out of bounds. It'll be DeSmit basketball with 47.5 seconds to play in the quarter. 39-29.
Gonna get Easton Moore out of there with his 3 fouls.
Yeah, on the defensive end, why not let him have a break here? You got a 10-point lead.
Steal a couple minutes or
extra
minutes, but with the counting the quarter break, I guess, get a little extra breather.
Van Regenmoor thought about the 3. Wide open, he'll shoot it again. Got it! Coy Van Regenmoor!
Big shot
9 in the game. Yep. Yeah, he's been fantastic.
DeSmit in a 2-3 here. Just kind of maybe give a different look here to end the quarter.
Different look and maybe a chance to save legs as that 3 rims out. And we go to the end of the third, 39-32. Sully Butte, Silver DeSmit back with more on SDPB Sports.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Ready for the final 8 minutes on SDPB.org, SDPB2TV, here in Aberdeen, around South Dakota, and around the world. Thanks for having us on. I think Nate Weck told me last week we were having that conversation. The only continent that we have not had a viewer from is Antarctica. And there's enough scientific research that goes on there. Can we not get one guy to log on to one of our programs in Antarctica?
Nate doesn't know somebody down there.
He's got to.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. If you know anyone in Antarctica, let's have them on so we can say that we've been represented on every continent.
Through 3 quarters, Wesley Whitner with 19 points and 9 rebounds leads Sully Butte, and Coy Van Regenmoor lead scorer for DeSmit with 9. Grant Wilkinson 13 rebounds.
There's Wilkinson along the baseline again, tried to leave it up for Grant Wilkinson, and just throws it into the arms. There's just so many bodies around Grant, but it's what you have to do. I mean, you don't see it as much during the season when teams play, right? Like, you come to the state tournament and you got to you throw everything you've got to get him stopped. Last night they tried it. He scored 40. A little different today. Brody Sinclair knocks down a 3.
Sinclair's hit a couple big ones today.
Yes.
For the Bulldogs.
Grant Wilkinson with just 9 points in this game. And it's a 39-35 game, so others stepping up. Sully Butte's going to take the air out of it a few trips here.
Just waiting. Yeah, DeSmit wants to play the 2-3. They're going to wait and pick their times to attack it.
Well, and again, only a 4-point game, so if you're DeSmit, go ahead. Stand back like you guys want it out there. Keep it. Different if it was 10 or 12. Now you got to come out, but it's only 2 possessions. There's a lot of possessions with the shot clock going. And Sinclair, by the way, picked up his 2nd.
I'm sure that's somewhat what Coach Greenhagen's thinking, too. It's like, if we can shorten the game a little bit now with some possession-wise, he's got to feel good about his team scoring with Grant Wilkinson, who shoots it at a 60-70% clip from in the paint. If he can make Sully Butte take some outside shots, and if they can miss a few, then
down to 5 on the shot clock. Whitler on the drive. Too strong. Rebound taken out of there by Grant Wilkinson as Carter Wilkinson tipped it to him.
So, like Coach Greenhagen's thoughts right there, that's a perfect possession defensively for you in that 2-3 zone. Exactly what you wanted to have happen.
Claire again to Luthmers now. Right wing long three. Luthmers got it! Noah Luthmers has 8 points, but it's now a 1-point game, 39-38.
Big shot from Noah, and that supporting cast around Grant Wilkinson is stepping up. And
a 9-0 run. Easton Moore might have got away with a push in the back down there on Slayton Wilkinson. Luthmers couldn't corral it on the sideline. Scott Tunney. Slayton Wilkinson trying to plead his case a little with Scott Tunney.
No, that's Brent.
Scott just
Dirk, right? Yeah.
Or Dirk, I'm sorry. Just looked at him like, what was that again? Brent's like, what are you talking about? Wilkinson with the rebound. Slayton Wilkinson, that is, if you're keeping track at home. Timeout, D. Smith. Their first called timeout of the game. 5:22 to play in the game. We're going to keep it right here. You got the scores of that other 2 tournaments. We kind of update. We had a couple of decent games going there out in Rapid City.
Watertown comes back and knocks off Key 71-68 in the AA.
Oh, good game there.
92-92, St. Thomas More. 1 minute left in the second overtime.
Double overtime in Rapid, 92-92 right now. That's amazing. 94-92, I see St. Thomas More just scored.
Brandon Valley and O'Gorman up next in the AA. Cheyenne Eagle Butte will take on Stanley County after St. Thomas More and Groton wrap it up.
There you see some of the fans in attendance. A little man. Sully Butte's fans into it as their team leads by 1 with a chance to go on to the Consolation Championship. Aberdeen Christian will be in it tomorrow at 12:45. Viber Hurley awaits the loser of this game for 7th place tomorrow.
South Dakota State women are down 4 with just under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, 21-17.
18-4 run for Washington there to take that lead. .15 to play in the game. 1-point game. Low scoring consolation round game. Wilkinson missed it. Battle for the rebound, and Wilkinson can't come up with it. You want to jump up and fix that net. Five minutes to play. We'll get an immediate timeout. Both teams have 4 timeouts remaining. So when you said it might be 2:30 when we're out of here, jinx. Wilkinson, Grant with the takeaway. Falkenhagen just doing whatever he can to just stay upright against Grant Wilkinson. Wilkinson 3 straight and gets final to base, the last one, the big fella. Finally it goes in.
And then of course gets fouled on it too as you're, Whitler just crossed on the.
Yeah, and he just kept hacking at it like, okay, let's try this one. All right, let's try this one.
You want media?
Yes, media timeout, you are correct.
It's like the last one, Brent Dirk was looking over here again waiting. He needed that break too.
He can call it. He doesn't need me, but yeah, sorry, we're out. Take a break. Back in a moment on STPB Sport.
He had time to get.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
And we're back out of the media timeout. Last time I have to worry about throwing that bad boy up for this afternoon. By Brent Dirk, snack for keeping us in line here. Letting us get them in.
Great games and great action, though. It's like you get wrapped up in it, you kind of forget, like.
When I had the sign in my hand, knowing, all right, next one, here we go. I just talked about it. Too many things at once. Multitasker today. Grant Wilkinson finishes the three-point play. Wilkinson's got 12 points and 15 rebounds right now. 11 of those on the defensive end. He's got, what, 2 or 3 offensive boards. Yackley. Inside, tough shot, Easton Moore.
Nice touch from Moore there on that. Great look by Yackley, too. That shot fake in the corner. And
again, Easton Moore, just a freshman. Good read. Whitler saw it coming. He'll be on the run. Goes right, look out, goes right behind Carter Wilkinson. Foul going to be on Slayton. Or they call that on Carter. I think it was on Slayton, wasn't it? Nope. Carter Wilkinson.
Either way, it's going to be 4.
Yeah, 4 either way. Whitler back to the free throw line again. 20th point of the night? No, he's got 19 right now. 3 double-digit scores for Sully Buttes. Moore with 10, Yackley with 10, Whitler with 19, make it, can't keep it 19. Carter Wilkinson rebound. 3:45 to play, tied at 41, here we go again. Timeout, D. Smith, the Bulldogs want to talk about it. 30-second timeout, 30-second timeout, we'll keep it here.
Coach Greenhagen wants to draw up something here to get a good touch and a look that's going to benefit the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, I think big possession, you got to get a bucket or at least get a good look at a chance at a bucket. And it also gives Grant Wilkinson and Slayton Wilkinson, who's really, I mean, they put some miles on their legs. Grant just had people laying on him, but Slayton has had to guard Whitler all over the floor tonight. So a chance to get just a little extra break, get your breath back, get a drink, be ready to go. Good look at the DeSmit huddle. As I say huddle, the huddle announcement comes up, a sponsor of state tournaments in the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Brian White, head coach at Sully Buttes, does a good job at the Basketball Coaches Association as well, part of that. Part of the SDI,
SDI, AAA. Board of directors with that we're both a part of as well. So Brian does a lot of work with all those groups.
Big conference coming up for the ADs out in Deadwood. Lots of issues and topics to discuss, so we'll look forward to that. And the best part is Brant's driving us. Wilkinson up off the glass, too strong this time. Waiting for contact. That time didn't get much. Whitler in the lane, loses the handle. Kick out, Moore, baseline.
Smith still in that 2-3.
Whitler gets a little dribble to shoot it. No.
Good box out on the backside by Slayton.
Whitler looks tired right now, too. He didn't have much lift that time on his jumper. Tied at 41. It's almost Noah Luthmer's time, isn't it? We haven't heard from Noah for a little bit, and he's had a couple big shots. Carter Wilkinson, 3 in the corner, got it!
Big shot from Carter, too. We've talked about him.
And a comeback. What was it? Had they outscored them 15-2? Wasn't it 39-29 at one point, I believe? Then a 15-2 run and another 30-second timeout called. Yeah, what a run by DeSmit. And in that run, you would think, oh, they really got the ball hammered inside to Wilkinson. It wasn't Grant Wilkins. It was Lutmers. It was Sinclair. It was Van Rigamorter.
And then Carter hits that three.
Yeah, it's just, and the supporting cast has done what they needed to do.
Stepped up today, yeah. They've stepped up. And Sully Butte still continue to battle and keep themselves in it defensively as well.
I was going to say that after the game, DeSmit might need to go jump in Moccasin Creek, just take an ice bath, but Grant's the one who needs it. You might need to go to the lake. Moccasin Creek might not be deep enough. The 6'10" senior. He's got one game and 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in his basketball career at DeSmit. He's pretty good in the shot put and discus ring as well, and then he'll take his athletic talents and career to South Dakota State, be a part of the football program next year. Dan Jackson and that crew be happy to have him. And can you imagine putting some muscle and pounds on him? He's gonna get bigger. That's scary.
Member of the 605 Hogs.
Yeah. 6'10" right tackle. That'd probably be all right.
That'll be fun to see how his footwork that you've seen on display here works and translates.
Yep. There's a foul on Wilkins. He threw the right arm right through. That's a good call.
I think he maybe gets through that, but yeah, he kind of extended it as he hit the.
It's another one where your teammates got to let you through or help you through, but you also have to see it coming.
Yep.
Got to be told that there's a screen.
Yeah. I try to. Especially when you got 3 fouls, it's like avoid it a little bit.
Yeah, now he's got 4, so he and Carter both have 4 fouls. Whitler to the lane. Yackley, good fake. Floater, short. Carter Wilkinson, big rebound. Throw it back to Lutmers, who will slow it down. Under 2 minutes to play. 44-41. Somebody turned the air conditioner off. Feels pretty good.
Getting ready for this evening, I'm imagining.
Again, we'll visit with the winning coach at the end of this one. Grant Wilkinson, spin move in the lane. Off the glass, got it. Wow, that's a tough shot. Kind of falling away even a little bit. Whitler now, trailing by 5 in the paint. No, rebound. Wilkinson. Lutmers again to control and slow it down.
Just can't. Sully Buttes again is similar as last night. They had great looks the last 3 or 4 possessions down the floor. And just shots that have rolled around and came out.
Whitler going to pick up his 2nd personal. Again, Sully Buttes just 2 team fouls, so they got to go get it right now. They probably see another one. Josh Mogg stops it. He heard Coach White had just started to hand it. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back on the full timeout back in 45 seconds on SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Hey, buddy.
Settled in for the last 111. Sully Butte's going to have to foul a couple times quick again. So you're going to probably see inbound quick foul, then maybe you wait, try to get a steal. Then the free throws will start to happen as they trail by 2 possessions right now. Whitler doesn't want to be the one to do it. They're going to actually play it out. Foul and a three-point play opportunity as Grant Wilkinson makes it go on the right block. They get it in. Wilkinson up and in. Foul on Colson.
And Grant all of a sudden up to 16.
Yeah, just
had what,
just
8 coming into the quarter. So
they actually called that foul on Falkenhagen, so that's Cooper's 4th. Now it's 3 possessions. Got to look at a 3 with 60 seconds to play. Long 3, Yackley, no. Rebound, Sinclair, fire it out, Slayton Wilkinson. Wilkinson will be fouled, it's on the ground. You can't count that. It's on the floor. No. Coach Gruehagen, big smile on his face. Yeah, he was calling it early. Now he kept fouling him, but it was early. That's the 4th team foul, so no free throws regardless. I don't even know how Wilkinson got that up to the rim regardless, but 8-point game. What a comeback.
Yeah, you had mentioned it last night with DeSmit too. Just at no point was there did you see panic from Coach Gruehagen or his group. And
well, that'll be the conversation I have with him again, because it's the same thing. Down 10, they're on a 20-2 run right now to close this thing out. And then again, it just took a couple guys to hit a shot here, hit a shot there, and it wasn't all Grant Wilkinson. He did end up, with 17 now, but
Van Regenwater and Sinclair and Luthmers hit the big 3. Carter Wilkinson with the big 3 in the corner. And
Luthmers misses both free throws, though.
Those shots fall, and then all of a sudden it gets Grant a little more room to
Sinclair, or rather Van Regenwater to the steal, the runaway. Luthmers almost went up and hammered that he missed the rebound. He got up quick. Here it comes. Oh, he just lost it on the way up. What an effort. That was fun to watch, regardless of the fact that it didn't go in. 38.9 seconds to play. Again, those are situations, too. You get that bucket to go in. Not a bad foul for DeSmit. It's just one foul, big deal. Luthmers picks up just his 2nd. But do you get that steal and just run to the corner and let the time run out?
Yeah.
There's still 40 seconds left,
If you know you're going to knock down the 2 free throws when they foul you, then absolutely.
Right.
But you go to the line and miss a couple, then it...
Now, Van Regenwater says, I'm going to go the other way real quick. Luthmers, crossover. Wilkinson, he'll be fouled. Big Grant taking it to the rack. Here it comes right at you down here on the baseline.
Good pass by Luthmers, too.
Yep. Falkenhagen with the foul. That'll be his 5th personal. Miles will come back in. 21.1 seconds to play. A dejected Cooper Falkenhagen, but also dead dog tired. That's 2 guys trying to wear out the big fella. And again, I don't know the last time Wilkinson's come out of a basketball game. It's been a while, right? You look back at maybe a big win, a 20-point win somewhere in there, but in postseason, the guy just doesn't come out of the game much. At the other end with 14.7 to play.
Carter's 5th on that one.
Yep, Carter will foul out. He'll come out to a hand, I would think, some applause, because he hit some big shots. Eight rebounds to go along with his 7 points. Colson makes it a 7-point game. They're just going to kind of let it play out, it looks like. Not going to foul. Luthmer's going to dribble it out. That'll be the ball game. DeSmit with the 21-4 run to win it.
Sully Buttes no field goals over the last 2:52 of the game. I think they still had a lead at that point. Valiant effort by Coach White's crew there, and great job by the Bulldogs to hang on and just kind of stay the course and do what they do, and pulled out the 7-point win.
DeSmit is over, going to put their sticker on their board, and then we'll catch up with Coach Gruenhagen. He and Coach White going to visit a little bit. (50-43) our final score, as DeSmit on a 21-4 run to come back and win that. Coach Gruenhagen joins us. Coach, congratulations. Wow, what a ball game for you guys. Down 39-29, 21-4 run over the rest of it to get the W to get into the Constellation Championship.
Yeah, we haven't been shooting it well kind of all day, and even Grant today just couldn't get in there. Tons of contact in there, and you know, we kind of held it together, made a couple shots, couple key shots from our guys, finally got a couple threes to go in for us, and then people just gets one guy out of the lane and makes it move a little easier.
Luthmers, Van Rigemorter, Sinclair, the supporting cast, Carter Wilkinson hits a couple. Like you said, Grant, he's guarded by 4 guys. They had to score tonight at times, and they did.
Yeah, it's hard for him to get that shot up before he loses it, or, you know, you don't know if he's going to get the free throw line or not, so he's got to keep it on the move. And, you know, they did a nice job with him. Whittler's tough to guard. You know, we kind of had to go a little zone there late just to change it up a little bit, as they were shooting a lot of free throws too.
Talk a little bit real quick just about Grant and the simple fact that as much attention as he draws, he doesn't come out of the game. The big fella he looks worn out, but he just battles.
Right, he's gone 32 minutes. There was one stretch tonight where he kind of slowed down just for a minute. You know, if you get a timeout in there, and he's done that all season, just kept on going. He knows if he gets 2 or 3 fouls, he's got to back up just a little bit, but he can just keep on battling it. He's not fast, but he's always the same speed. He's right there. He got a couple of good steals coming in late in transition, so, you know, he just does so much work.
Appreciate the time. Congratulations, Coach. Constellation Championship tomorrow.
Yep, that'll be fun.
Appreciate it. Coach Gruenhagen with the DeSmit Bulldogs will take a break. We are back with more from the Walks Arena on the campus of Northern State University on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
Welcome back to Walks Arena. The Smith fans still kind of hanging out over there. And the PA announcer, he's like, hey, you guys got to get out of here. We got to get this place cleaned up. But it's fun to watch when everybody gets out of here. The people just, the workers they have come in, boom, they clean and get ready. But all right, let's talk real quick and look at some second half highlights of this one. As it looked like Sully Buttes was really going to start to pull away, made some big shots, and it got up 39-29. And from that point on, 21-4 run, and it just turned into D. Smith basketball from there on out.
It really did, and it just kind of came with that last 2.5 minutes or so. Sully Buttes just kind of went cold from the field again, and similar to the game last night. And DeSmit hit some shots. You talked about it with Coach Gruenhagen in the post game. The second and third guys, Colby Sinclair and Coy Van Regenmoorder, I thought had a great game today, and Carter Wilkinson hit a couple big threes for him. So those other guys besides Grant Wilkinson stepped up today and helped him out. We talked about it going into the fourth. Grant, I think, only had 7 or 8 points going in. He ends up being their leading scorer with 18 and 16 boards tonight. So a great job in the fourth by DeSmit just to stay the course and do what they do. Game effort by Sully Buttes. Wesley Whitler with 19 and 11 boards. I thought they had a great game plan and carried it out for the most part. It was just that stretch where they couldn't get shots to fall, and DeSmit knocked a few in and pulled away.
Take a quick break, come back, recap the scores from this afternoon, get you set up for tonight, and then get out of here for just a little bit. Get ready for our championship semifinals on a Friday night in Aberdeen. Coming up on SDPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
From Wachs Arena in the Barnett Center, campus at Northern State University, it has quieted down quite a bit here as we get ready to wrap things up. Take a quick look at how things went in our opening session here today on a Friday. Viborg Hurley falls to Aberdeen Christian 52-49 in the consolation semifinals, game number 1. And then our second one, as you just saw, DeSmit 50-43 on that 21-4 run, I should say, over the last probably 7 to 8 minutes, I think it probably was, of that game. Anyway, they end up with the win 50-43. Sets up tonight's championship semifinals on a Friday night here at Wachs Arena. Just really an atmosphere that you will not be able to match anywhere. 5 o'clock, Lyman and Castlewood and then number 2 seed Freeman, and the Eagles of Wall, the number 6 seed, at about 6:45. Got a lot of things to hand out during the first game at halftime. Got a performance from Aberdeen Rock College dance team, and then we're going to hand out even more stuff at halftime in the second game. So you don't want to miss that. We'll be out there helping out with that a little bit as well. So, Steve, we'll do it again when we come back. We'll kind of preview everything when we come back here tonight. Take the air about 5 o'clock. Thanks to everybody back in the truck. The men and women, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, from Bison High School helping us out on the camera. And for Steve Erickson here inside Walks